everybody, and welcome to the Just Enough Heshy Show. I'm going to go, we have a great show tonight. I'm going to introduce, my co-hosts. Well, first, Neil, everyone's voice of reason.
Hey.
The most reasonable person we know.
Yeah.
We have, hold on. We have Z.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome back, Z. Welcome
Yeah.
back, Z. How are
It's been
you?
a while. I can't tell you how excited I
Sunshine
am to finally
State.
be back on the air with everybody, with all my favorite people.
Okay, and then we have a guest. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Miriam Nakanovsky.
Miriam is a wonderful girl, and we're going to talk a lot of things about her, what things that she does. And of course, we have our beautiful SD.
I didn't introduce you yet.
Oh, you didn't introduce?
We have our host, Uncle Heshy, the main guy. The
Right.
show's named after him.
So Neil is getting upset with me. Why did I call her a girl? Everybody's a young girl and a young boy to me. I'm an old man. I'm your Uncle Heshy, Neil. Come on.
Wait,
my voice
if you
is-
can call us young, can we call you old?
I am old. I'm old.
As old as you feel.
So
Okay.
does that mean we have to bow down and respect you?
We have,
No bowing.
In his
down.
mind,
No
absolutely.
bowing.
Miriam, you are now an official guest of this show.
If anything, he has to do the bowing.
But as we all know, when we start our show, Neil,
Yeah.
I do with my opening quote.
Of course.
Now it's a special
Is
quote
this an
today.
original?
It's not an original. I
I didn't get it in the middle of the night this time.
stole it from Este's most important. Este again, she's polishing her
Estie's
nails,
busy painting her nails.
painting her nails on the
On
show.
two?
This is what happens when we put the show on camera.
Our producer's screaming at me that I look at my phone and he's letting her paint her nails
I
on the
have to
show.
do something now. I'm what's it called? ADD. I need to do a few things at
Wow,
once.
between you two,
But
you
Esty-
guys are nuts.
Esty-
What do you want?
Este, I have a question for you. Our first general of the United States. We taught you this last night. Who is it?
Can't they just be the first president? Like, it has to be like, I
Right
don't know.
back to where we
Yeah, I
started.
know he was probably also a general,
but
but I
why
don't
are
think
you
of it in
talking
those
about it?
terms.
Because his name was General George Washington.
Okay.
I feel like she wants us to point
Before
out.
he became a president, he was a general.
I feel like she wants us to point out that
Okay.
her nails match.
But
her dress.
Este, what's his
I
name?
feel.
I just said it.
Yeah, George Washington.
Thank you very much, Este. So this is for my great uncle, George Washington Tischler.
Okay.
This is about experience, okay? And this is for all of us here. We should not look back unless it is to derive useful lessons from our past errors and for the purpose of profiting by daily bought experience. Do you understand that we are looking back from our mistakes, Esty? That's what history is about. We shouldn't look back and be upset about the past, but we should learn from the past, Esty.
I'm
The
listening,
past
definitely.
is
I
what
agree with you.
creates the future.
But that's how you make a
for
profit.
those
Right.
that learn
From
the
those that
past.
learns from the-
Otherwise, the mistakes are worthless.
Exactly, Esty.
If
Exactly.
you want to get value out of it, in other words, if you're a good guy and you know how to get value out of like the
Like-
scrap metal in the street, then you know how to pick up the soda cans
Right. Oh, I
and
want
make
one.
a
Can I
living
get
out
one?
of it.
I have a great example. Like when you messed up that nail, don't do the same
Anyways,
thing
but
that you just
before
did on the
we
next
go
nail.
ahead, Esty, now
So
that
what
you finish
profit are you gonna
polishing,
get out of
No,
it?
I'm
one
not
minute.
finished.
Now that you finish polishing your
But you
nails,
know what it is? I think it's important for people to know history who are in politics.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that's where they have to go
When-
to
when
college
actually-
to learn all this.
One minute, guys.
Someone who's a makeup artist does not need to know history.
My
Okay,
headphones
hello. We're
don't
not
work. I don't either
We're not going to talk about this till Esty tells us what show we're listening to.
You are listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. We're on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. You can get us on Facebook, Just Enough Heshy, Twitter, # Just Enough Heshy. We're live on YouTube now. Again, put in Just Enough Heshy, Heshy. If you'd like to advertise with us or just shoot us an email, you can email us at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. The number to call in over here is 718, I said it, 718-303-9090. Okay, Heshy, back to you.
Okay, that's you. So what about my advertisers for the night? I mean, somebody's got to pay for the show, and you got to pay.
Boy, it's really, I tell you, tonight it seems like we're everybody seems to be all wired up, you know?
So, yeah.
I don't
By
like
the way,
it.
Neil,
I don't
before
like
she goes ahead, I have a new trivia question tonight. I'm going to ask it to Miriam as well because, like you said, she's not a young girl. She
What does
might
the
have-
winner get? That's what we want to know.
yeah, the winner gets a $10 gift card
I'm
to
already
anywhere
not-
they want to go.
Oh, okay, now. I'm
Any
interested.
restaurant that you want, we're going to buy
Basically
you a
just a
gift card.
$10 bill.
Yeah, we'll send you a $10 bill.
You can have a whole meal, and not everybody's as rich as you.
$10 is basically the same thing. I think you can get a soda and a knish, maybe.
No, what are those combo
A
things?
breakfast.
Oh, that's right. That's
You
right.
can
A
get a
breakfast. You're right. I'm
breakfast
sorry.
Oh,
I'm
you can get
sorry.
you can get 2 slices, soda and a fries.
I'm never up
Yes,
early
you
enough
can
for
get
breakfast.
that.
I'm not.
No, let's see. It's
And
$2.50 a
omelets you can get
slice.
for $10.
Remember back in the
It's
day, it was
two charges,
25 cents.
$2.50.
I mean, not on my
So
day.
it's $5.
$5.
Okay.
French fries, another $3.50.
I don't know. So
Wait,
skip
were you
the
around
fries,
when it
just
was like
get a
25 cents?
soda.
A big
Can-
soda.
can they
And
show
get
soda.
some change and give
You
a
get some
bald man
the
a
guy
pop.
outside. You know, today I was
now
on.
I'm getting
Today
hungry.
I was on the corner of Broadway and Chambers, and there was a
I
man.
can't
1
believe you
minute,
didn't
stop.
give me a lift.
I would have given. I didn't know you
I
wanted to go there.
can't believe
You
I
know
was
I go there
right
over-
there.
oh.
I was
So, anyways,
right
I
there.
walk out of my car and I see a man on the floor, shaking and crying. I'm homeless. Stop before you get upset.
No, I just want you to know, if in case you enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it or thought,
But
well,
this one I
can
believe.
give you another few thousand.
No.
in
But
it.
this one I believed, and I get angry that I see that a man is sitting on the street crying and homeless and has nothing to eat and money, and I didn't take out 12 cents like another person. I gave him 45 cents. But the point, that's all the change I had
Can
in
I
my
ask
pocket.
you, is your name Moshe or Heshy? How do you know?
I know
Just from his look when he's crying?
Yes.
I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to sit on Broadway and Chambers,
Yes.
and I'm going to cry. And if you give me 45 cents, I'm going to throw it in your face.
Right now for
I'm gonna
45
say-
Can you have me in mind, please?
I'm going to sit
Throw
and
it
cry and
extra
be
hard.
homeless too. How do
Esty,
you
before
know
she
this?
throws money in my face, I want to know who's really going to pay me.
Yeah, but by the way, they say don't
How do
give.
you know?
But wait, hold on. Don't give a poor man bread, like hard bread, because he's gonna throw it back at you.
Yeah.
There's like a thing like that.
Esty, who's
yes.
paying for my show?
Yeah, we have the Black Label Electronic Cigarettes. Just go to blpremiumesig.com or call Mikey at 561-239-5941.
Oh, Mikey!
Mikey.
No.
Hey, 1 minute, Miriam, say Mikey.
Mikey.
No,
Right,
you
she's
didn't get
doing
all
it. She did it all
He
wrong.
needs
no
strong
idea.
with strength.
Mikey!
We have
I'm a girl,
Yossi
so-
Lefkowitz.
Okay.
Yossi Lefkowitz, personal trainer, will get you to lose weight by the summer, I think. Yeah. I don't know if you can guarantee it.
Does he work on ladies too?
I
whoops.
think maybe. You know, if you're like,
Like, does he go to different places or it's
oh, he can also go to you. You know,
like no to like a where you go where in your place or
Oh,
to your house. Yeah,
he can go to your house,
I'm
but
talking
I
about
wonder
your
if
gym.
to a new gym
Maybe.
when you work.
probably if you pay the fee to bring him in there. But
Where does he live?
Esty,
on 16th and 48th,
Oh, that's not far.
right?
You
You
think
can,
that bring him in there like, oh, he lives in
yeah.
China or something.
Right.
Yeah, so you can
Okay.
reach him at 347-816-5207. He also has a Facebook page, Yossi Lefkowitz. We have Green Line Building Solutions. They do asbestos and lead inspection, DOB, violations, permits and plans, code compliance, preventative maintenance, HPD, lift stop work orders, and they give you a free consultation so you can talk about all your problems.
and what number do you have to call for that?
718-871-0382.
I thought this show is where we talk about all of our problems.
No, but I do talk about, like today, for example, I did an inspection before I came. I walked through the building. I screamed at the person. I was helping him out.
Of course you scream.
I always
You
scream because they
scream.
don't listen to me if I don't scream at them.
Right.
Do you think that if you yell, people will listen?
Yes, 100% is
Thank you,
effective.
Z.
Seriously.
You are a good
100%.
man, Z.
Okay.
Wait, what
I
happens?
bet a
You know, you
good
get more
40%.
bees with honey
Yeah,
flies. something?
Anyways, now that
You
Esty
attract
finished the
more
thing,
bees with honey than
Miriam,
with vinegar.
yesterday we were talking about education, and we're going to get to you in a minute. Who you are? My question is did you ever hear of the Oklahoma bomber?
Of course.
Oh, thank God!
Yeah, she's your
I'm
age.
not-
What do you mean she? Oh my God! Esty,
First of all, that doesn't mean anything. You're supposed to read so that you get knowledgeable about things.
I love her.
Yes,
I know
but
about George
I-
Washington.
Yes,
He-
One
but I read about
minute.
other things because this is not my area of expertise.
Could you please tell us
Yeah.
why, even if you're not into history
Politics or history,
politics,
no,
why
can I
it's
say-
good to know about the country, especially the country you live in?
I would
You're
like to add
American.
one thing.
Wait, Z, do you know
I
about
would
the
like to
Oklahoma
add-
bomber?
Of course, I wasn't born yesterday. Timothy McVeigh, of course.
Oh,
Okay,
when
I would
were
like
you
I would
born?
like to add one
How
thing.
many of your friends
Hold on,
know about
all
it?
of them. I guarantee you. Don't go there.
Well, you're a smart friend.
Hold on a second.
And-
It's very, very simple. Okay, back when I was starting college in the
Oh,
long
you went
time
to
ago.
college. Maybe
I
that's
did.
where you learned
Hold on a
everything.
second.
Oh my God! Please kill me.
I always
Kill
wondered
me. Kill
why
me.
is it that, hey, if I want to be an accountant, why don't I just take accounting classes? Why do I have to know about science and about history and about
That's
this
what
and that?
Esty cries about.
Exactly, and the answer
want to be
is
educated.
because they want people to have a well-rounded education, to know a little bit about every subject, so that they could measure their overall intelligence. That way, they can hold a conversation about anything with anybody at any time, and that's more important than just knowing a lot about one specific
I watched
subject.
Star Wars for that reason, so I understood the references. I've never heard a reference to the Oklahoma Yeah.
You haven't?
That's a
Nope.
You never
beautiful.
heard anybody
That's a
talk
beautiful
about it?
thing
Never.
about Star Wars. So you're going to talk about exactly whom?
But again,
Luke Skywalker?
the point is,
No,
it's
they make
important.
references.
It's important to be
No, it's
well-rounded.
not.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
just for
To
your
educate
knowledge,
yourself.
now, Miriam, about you a little bit. I want to tell us before we start screaming at Esty a little bit more. So, Miriam, you are. What is your specialty? What is your? Tell us about you a little
Area of
bit.
expertise.
I want to tell you something. Miriam is a special, special lady, special
Lady.
woman, whatever. To me, again, she's a
Actually,
little
we could
girl.
call a girl.
No,
Lady,
you're all little
girl.
girls to me.
She's
But
doing her
my-
nails. Of course, she's a girl.
Okay,
Look
my
at her.
question is that I know Esty, you
I
have
worked hard on that information also.
Esty, you love you have special education that you're very much involved with it. Tell us a little bit about it and why.
Well, I myself have 2 autistic children. It is something that I'm extremely passionate about.
Can you explain for some people that might not know what that means?
What autism means?
Yes.
Okay, autism.
And I happen to know what it means because I'm educated. And I know a little bit about
In
everything.
psychology, I know more than you. I know
All right,
for
all
sure
right,
about
all right.
autism.
Can we please let her talk, please?
Go ahead.
Autism is a disability. It's a syndrome that affects 5 out of 100 people in the world. They have
Really?
yes,
Wow.
yes.
That's-
It used to
that's
be.
1 in 20.
in-
That's crazy.
That's right, exactly.
And I know that
um,
because I'm educated.
They have communication issues, social ineptness. There's a range from 1 to 12. We use a ruler. I'm sorry. And if someone is extremely severely autistic, they're 1 or 2. And if they're very high functioning, they're 10, 11, 12.
Now, as a layman, as a dumbbell here, and I have heard about autism, and I've seen they're beautiful children. Some of them are geniuses and brilliant. They can get dressed themselves. They can go themselves. They even could communicate
I
somewhat.
have 2 autistic children. They were severely autistic, which means when my daughter was 9 months old, I would ask her in Yiddish, "Where's your pacifier?" And she would say, "I don't know, look under the blanket." When she was 2 years old, she regressed all the way to a 4-month-old.
Wow.
She didn't speak until she was 5. We used to drag her in by her hair. She would have massive meltdowns.
What's the reason? What's the?
We don't know. There's something in the brain. You know, we have synapses that is connected to neurons that connect different things that go on in the brain. Something that happens and we don't know why, because we don't do autopsies on brains.
Not yet. They're working on that.
Right.
Actually.
No, but someone that's alive that
So-
is autistic, we're not going to open up
Right,
his
of
brain
course,
and
of
say
course.
Now,
what's going
Miriam,
on.
when I have my sister-in-law's sister
Mhm.
has a child that was so beautiful, gorgeous till he was 2 years old, and then became autistic and went all thing. And I started to be a big shot, thinking,
Can
know,
you
that
become autistic or you're born with it?
No, you're born with it, but the problem is it comes out in different ways and different times. And as a child progresses,
So you can't-
supposedly,
so when they're born, you can't
you
tell right
cannot
away.
tell.
You
No,
say, wow.
autism,
So
you cannot
I was
tell.
doing a little research on it, trying to think that, I can solve the world's problems, which usually I can. And I was watching a report on 60 Minutes, and they said that in Mexico, there was a guy doing research with some kind of a pig animal or something that he injects it. And I saw on the report that these children, Neil, I promise you, went from crazy autistic, screaming and having tantrums to becoming like normal little children.
So they don't become normal because you have to understand autism is not a sickness. It's not like, God forbid, someone has cancer and they can be in
It's something in
remission.
the brain.
It's a disability that will affect the child for the rest of their life. It
But they're
depends.
smarter, no?
Yes, it depends on what the level is. It depends, as we call it in psychology, zone of proximal development. How much that child can work his or her brain to what level.
Now, these
My
So
child
we
was
just cut in really
severely
quick,
autistic,
'cause we have-
and
we
now
have a caller
she's
we're going to take a call. I want to
yeah.
ask one more question before we take the
extremely
caller.
high functioning. If you
What-
meet my
what
daughter,
shows?
you would flip out.
Now,
Sure.
my question, 1 minute, before you
Yeah.
go, Neil, now listen to this one, Neil. There was a lady that I just read a report. Her child was autistic and he wouldn't get dressed. Or
Right.
they went, so finally she came up, and when they finally did get dressed, he would just throw on the clothes opposite or backwards or crazy. She came out with a new kind of a clothes that you don't have to put the buttons on because they're very hard to
Right.
button for them.
Right.
No buttons, but it looks
Wow.
like a normal shirt, and inside and outside are both
No matter which way you put
which
it.
way you put it on.
Yeah.
And she did the same thing with pants. It's a new thing. And this woman is like a great lady. She actually cared about her own child, and it's made for boys and girls. And I never heard of such a thing as well.
We come up with all different types of tricks and things to get our children to behave. A lot of it is positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is everything we try to do in the positive. I am a head teacher in a special ed school.
A
with
wonderful girl.
severely disabled children.
Did you get into it because you're kids?
No, actually, I was a nurse. I used to work in the emergency room and in OBGYN. In 2006, I had a brain tumor that I wasn't supposed to make. It was cancerous, and I wasn't supposed to live. But God decided, I think we need her around.
Oh,
So,
wow.
I survived and I made it, and I went back to college and I got my degree in psychology, special ed,
So,
and
Miriam,
autism.
when you wake up every morning, what's the first thing you say?
Truthfully, I know we don't do that because we're Jewish, but I get down on my hands and knees and say, God, thank you. I know you're up there. Thank you very much for
Very
making
good.
me
Do
alive.
you feel pressure to like be like even more because God
No.
gave you a second chance?
Absolutely not. See, the thing is, I made a
But
deal
you
with
appreciate
God.
everything you have now. much
Definitely.
more.
I
Yeah.
made a deal with God as I was going into the operating room because my doctor, my neurosurgeon said, listen, Miriam, I only did 3 types of surgeries like this. The first one was my best friend. He didn't make it. The second one was deaf and blind and can't walk. And you're the third one. I don't know what's going to be. I don't know how
Shouldn't you have
much
found a
of
different
your
surgeon?
brain. No, absolutely not. I'll tell you that story soon. I don't know how much of your brain is affected because I tried to do as much mapping, but I don't know. When I open up, I'll let you know. It was supposed to be 3 hours. It ended up being 8 hours. It was massive. But as I was rolled in, I turned up to God and I said, listen, God, I'm going to make a deal with you. You save me and you make me back to whatever I can be. I promise you, anyone that calls me or asks me for help, I will help no matter what. And if I can't physically help them because I don't know, I will connect them to whomever. I will try my best.
Yeah, can I get your number then?
Yes,
Miriam is a good girl.
definitely.
Okay, let's take
Let's
your
take this
call,
caller.
everybody.
She's
Go
been so
ahead.
patient.
We're going to take a call, even though I have a lot of things to talk
Oh,
about. And I
thank
have
you.
a today's trivia question,
Oh.
which is going to be very cool.
I want to ask you just one thing. Is it possible, like, I'm on the scale of autism, or you wouldn't know that?
I think you
could
are,
we
Esther.
not-
You are a 2.
No, that makes me more brilliant, I
The
think.
truth is,
Special,
you're not autistic, and you're not even someone that's extremely
PDD,
high
maybe?
functioning. No, is Asperger's. And I'm sorry, sweetie, but you're not. You have very, very good social.
Do you know how hard I worked on that?
Good.
No,
That's very
I did
good.
not have it naturally. It
Esther,
might
push
be.
the
Okay.
button, please.
Again, you're listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. We're on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. You can call in at 718-303-9090.
Neil is
Hello,
getting
you're
bored.
on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Yeah, hi, Esty and Uncle Heshy and Reasonable Neil. I was going to tell you about General Eisenhower, who was a president, and he was 2 presidents. He was president of Columbia University.
Oh, wow.
That doesn't count.
General Eisenhower, Ike, right?
Yeah.
I like Ike.
And of course, Esty would not know what
Esty
that
has
means.
no clue
No
who these
idea.
people are.
Not Ike the Candy.
I never heard of
Mike
that
and
one.
Mike and Ike.
Ike's.
Mike's and Ike's.
Mike
No,
and
man.
Ike, yeah. Esty, do you know the president that is now in the White House?
Sure, should
By
I
the way,
ask you that every
No, you
day?
see, this is what people aren't getting. What I know is what majority of the people, like I know. So it's a large majority of teenagers don't know this stuff. Everybody knows who Obama is, but no, everybody does not know who the
Okay,
vice
I see.
president is.
You don't know what the vice? I told you.
Yes. So I know now. But
Who?
the fact is, most people. Hold on, I got this. I have a bad memory. Why did you get that?
Biden.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Cole. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was what I just heard on your guest. Listen, autism is a diagnosis. Mom can get that diagnosis from the doctor. Usually it's accurate. The problem is interdisciplinary science, which they call neuroscience. The interdisciplinary science is rhetoric and advocacy.
I'm sorry, and what's your point? What are you trying to ask me
No, he
or
was
say?
not asking.
Usually the diagnosis is accurate,
Right.
but it's a diagnosis that mom wants from the doctor. The doctor does get paid for the diagnosis. That's service.
Well, the reason why we want a very strong diagnosis, unfortunately, that's the way you get services. We know that there's something wrong with our children. We're not stupid. We want to get the best that we can. The earlier the child gets intervention, the more
And the
there's
less
a
severe
hope.
it is, they can move to the back of the line.
Right. The more of a hope that there's something down the line. And if I want to get 70 hours of applied behavior analysis, which is the best intervention, I want to get a very strong diagnosis. Whether I agree with it or not, that's what I'm going to get, because I'm going to fight. We, unfortunately, We have great people in the government and great people in the
stop.
Senate and
Oh,
Assembly.
God, please.
That's a joke. I'm being
Oh,
sarcastic.
thank you. Finally, somebody
Okay?
joking.
I would love to meet these people and say, you know what? Why don't you take some of my students into your house for 1 hour? Just 1 hour. I would love for my child, my daughter, even though she's extremely high functioning, and the DA, District Attorney Ken Thompson, knows her pretty well because she worked very hard for him to get elected.
Wow.
Yeah, she went around to our neighborhood where I live with a clipboard and she said, listen, everybody, I'm autistic and you have to vote for him.
Wow.
And she got 25,000 votes. And he said, Mashi, whenever you want, you come and visit me because you are it.
Okay, even though
Wait,
I
can
know,
autistic people vote?
Why not?
Yes.
So that's
she's
great. You
over
can get
18.
like all autistic people on your side, and like they'd be
Okay,
great.
That's
Esty,
right.
oh, God.
I'm running for president.
Now-
That's
now,
it. Me and
Esty,
Biden, we're
okay.
going.
Anyways, thank you.
Oh,
Carl,
Heshy,
for-
Heshy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The intervention Miriam is talking about is Hillary Clinton's village.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Let's not
Esty, do
even
you know who Hillary
go
Clinton is?
there because I have a lot to say to her, actually. Someone can get me a one-to-one interview. I'll be so nice and polite.
I'll give her a call
For
for
about 5 minutes.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for
Okay,
your
thank
time.
you also. Bye.
Miriam, is there government or support, like some kind of funding for this, or do they help parents out? Do they
Absolutely not.
And
And we
there's no
worked
therapy,
really
no
hard.
nothing.
There is therapy, but everything
So
comes-
you're telling me your Councilman Greenfeld, who's too busy raising my taxes and giving me violations, your state Senator Felder, I know you like him,
I
Neil.
will tell you
I'm gonna
that
keep going.
these one.
What about your buddy that I know you like so much, Dove Hyken? I haven't seen him be involved.
I will
with
tell you two people that have pushed and fought and screamed and yelled. Actually, three people that really, really, they have our backs. Simcha Felder.
Oh, please.
He was the one that cried in the Senate and he got the 15-day thing passed. Now, de Blasio and Shelley Silver messed it up for us. Thank you very much, the two of
They're
you.
very good at that.
They're
Well,
excellent.
Shirley Silver's not around anymore to do anything.
I
Go
know,
ahead.
but okay, so we still have to wait for the next person. And I'm sorry, but the next person that's there also doesn't.
Right, Hesties, by the way, Hasties, what's his name?
Hasty.
Neil Hasty.
Carl
Do you
Hasty,
know
right?
your boy Neil?
Wait, you don't remember his name exactly? That must mean you're an idiot.
No.
Definitely.
Wow. Do you know what, Esty? I'm calling you a Corver right now.
Ouch.
Now, hello.
Worst insult, but
Do
it's
you
still a
believe-
good
I
thing.
don't believe-
no.
The thing is,
Corver is
out.
You see what you just said? Corver is a good thing, and I want
Right,
to.
you say it's a good thing, but you just used it as an insult. So you're a hypocrite.
People
I
do
did not
not
use it
know
as
what
an
it
insult.
means.
No,
I'm going to call you a Corva. That was
Corva-
an insult.
Most people don't know
No,
what it means.
Corver
It's
means
not
a
an
classy
English word.
lady. Corver
It's
is
not an English
it is
word.
an English
Nobody
word.
knows.
I'm going to tell this.
No one knows.
This story is for Zal.
I'm listening.
Z, do you know that there's a team in New York City called the Brooklyn Nets,
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
and they're in the playoffs?
They
I'm
are.
not really into this
They're
thing.
playing
Neil and
tonight.
me don't really care, Neil. Now you're gonna like this one, Neil. Are you ready for this, Neil?
I'm ready, baby.
Wait, you should know this even though you don't care about it. It's very important information for all Americans to know.
That's right. Ready? Z,
Neil,
there was a
your
guy.
Yankees are
There's a
Mets.
guy who's playing against the Nets.
Yankee.
One minute, there's a guy who.
All right.
One minute, forget the. There's a guy who played against the Nets, and his name is Carl Corver.
Yes, Kyle Korver. Yeah.
Ah, you see,
Sure.
Corver beat them at the New City. Corver, only a
Okay.
Corver can kill us.
Okay, you know what? We're going to introduce you to him and you'll be very honored. Yeah.
He looks like Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, really? Well, he's still a Corver. He beat
Yep.
my team. Whatever. He beat New York, so I don't really care.
Tonight. Get used to
I
it.
believe Corvers are very cool things. You know, cool people. They're good Corvers. They're bad Corvers, Miriam.
Which one is she?
She's, of course, a good Corver,
Even with her nails?
even with the nails. And she's not such a smart Corver, but she's a good Corver.
It's usually better that way.
No, since I was a young kid, people are always like, oh, Esty, you're so smart. Why? Because I hang around people my age who don't know this stuff. And I'm sorry, did you know this stuff at my age? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, not everyone at this age knows it. Maybe later in life, but like,
Z, do you know that me and Esty were in the car talking, and I always talk to her before I get here. And what happened was in the car, I said to Esty, you have to get married. She said, all the boys I go out with 25 years old are stupid and they're not smart. I can't find a nice guy who I like. Right, Esty? Tell him. So I told her, let's get an older guy first. She says, no, age doesn't make wise. Look at me. I'm very wise.
you see, you're not the wise in the area that's important to me. I think
She needs somebody that's
self-aware, someone who knows about their
issues.
issues, where it comes from, how to solve
I
it.
do. I'm an ESPY thing.
They don't know their issues. They don't even think about
I
their
was
issues. They're
reading-
worried about other issues like politics, which is
no,
not
no.
so important
Yes,
for
that's-
self-growth.
SD
It's important
Neil,
for other stuff.
Esty told me that I'm a dumbbell and
I
that
did not.
I'm a
yeah.
narcissist and I don't care about nobody. And I was
Well, I did not think you don't care.
Wait a minute. Wait. I know that.
She just learned it.
Young girl.
You
She
did
just
not
learned
know
it.
that.
This is my
You're
point.
not
I know
gonna ask
everything
how to
about
spell it.
psychology, just not
Yeah,
politics.
so anyway, so I checked up who I am. I did a personality test, and it happens to be that I'm a cool guy. And I sent it to Esty. Wait a minute.
Most people
No, no.
like their own
And
personality
I
type.
sent it to Esty in an email, this test, and it said that I'm wise and I'm
It did not
comforting.
say wise.
It said wise somewhere.
Did
And
not.
wait a minute, wait a minute. And it also said I'm funny and I like to take
Right.
care of other people.
Right, and I would tell you
Yeah.
that if you tell me the characteristics you would like to see, I'll get you the test. I will show it to you.
Well,
okay?
I took somebody else.
Especially online.
On you, and you'll be the top one, like underneath the Pope.
I first of all, I'm higher than the Pope. I'm an angel. Anyways, we are going to be talking about a lot of things. I think we have to take another
Yeah.
caller.
Waiting.
Neil, can we take another
Go
caller?
ahead.
Okay, so let me just mention again.
I don't want to bore you, Neil.
Yeah, this is the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can get us on Facebook, Twitter. We're live on YouTube. Just Google Just Enough Heshy. It'll all come up.
But one minute, before
You
you
can
take
re-
the caller, I want you to know there was a mayor in Rockland County, a lady mayor. She just got, she took bribes. She took bribes. They're all taking
Unheard
bribes.
of. Someone in politics taking
Yeah,
bribes.
so I'm just trying to say they're all out for
Crazy.
themselves.
Mind blown.
No, but they're all out for themselves. And I want you to know this new.
Only you're
what a
surprised
scandal.
about
I'm not
that.
because it bothers me because look at this new guy Hastings.
No, because you
Hold on.
keep thinking.
No, but I want to tell you about this guy Hastings.
Oh,
It was
let's
his-
take the caller.
No, before you go on, I want to tell you, caller, before
It's
you're
gonna
gonna
be a
you
whole
want to
thing.
this guy Hastings, he's the new head of the assembly, right? And do you know that his mother was convicted for stealing in I think 95 or 98?
So it runs in the
And she
family.
had to pay back $165,000 on an illegal apartment she bought. She couldn't sell it. The DA, whatever, didn't make anything. Now it's past the statute of limitations. Hastings, your new boy in charge, now sold the apartment for instead of $365,000, paid back the mortgage and kept the money. He says, "Oh, I didn't do nothing illegal."
Wait, what did you
Explain-
steal?
She stole money from some kind of non-for-profit.
Non-for-profit.
We love him.
Plenty of
We
profit
love
to go
him.
around.
But the point is, he gets to keep it at the end of the day. The profit on the non-for-profit.
Hey, just
Now
like
you
the
see what the law
politicians
is
with the
doing.
campaign money.
That's right.
They keep it at the end.
And who's the one that puts the laws into place?
These
Our laws
Simcha
and
Felder,
politicians.
Greenfeld, and Dov Hikind.
Mhm.
I told you you were supposed to get me an intern to do a search on the laws that are different for us and for Congress and senators.
Right.
All of them.
Anyone that works on the Hill is excused from anything.
No, but
Did you-
no,
anybody
they're
watch
really
Netflix?
like
Yo.
that guy Harry Reid.
Wait,
who
let's
lied
work on the
about,
Hill then.
Mitt Romney.
Exactly.
He was allowed to
That's
lie
right.
on the
Exactly.
floor.
If you have Netflix, watch House of Cards.
Oh, that's
I know,
brilliant.
my son keeps
It's
telling
amazing.
me.
I don't wanna
No,
see-
I watch
Congress
it.
is all
That
about.
helps. Yeah.
Anyone that works
Take
on
a
the
phone
line's
call.
backing up over
Go
here.
ahead,
Let's
Esty.
go.
Well, everybody, we got to take a phone call. Go
So
ahead.
yes, this is the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can call in at 718-303-9090. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
I don't think nobody's there.
Hello?
Hello?
Did we lose you?
Okay, then
This
you
is what
got.
happens when we wait hours.
Okay. Well, what do you need
Eva,
to talk
yeah,
to
is
someone
there-
else?
Eva,
I'm
put
sick
in
of
the
you
hold.
people.
Okay,
Okay.
stand by the bus stop.
That's right.
Talk
Go
to
push
people.
another button,
Go
Esty.
stand outside Shomer Shabbos.
Right.
Okay.
Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Hello?
Yes.
That's us.
I'd like to know what your opinion of those two Orthodox landlords that were put in prison for trying to rent out.
Oh, the slumlords.
They weren't put in prison.
They won't put in prison. They were
They were
arrested.
indicted.
And you know what? I am now going to speak about this.
Okay,
Okay,
go
are
ahead.
you ready, guys? This is
Oh,
a-
am I ready?
Okay.
Buckle up. This is going to be a fun ride.
Okay.
First of all, the first question, do you know them?
First, I do not know them, and if they need my help, they should call 718-871-0382.
They're no good.
Now, I know you're saying they're no good. I have a question for you. These are
Yeah.
two what I've read about them, they're very religious, holy men. Wait a minute, Neil, before you start
Oh,
spitting at me.
God.
These two guys have a buildings that were rent stablers and
Yeah.
rent control. And they purchased and they bought these people out of the apartment. They paid them money to leave. Now, one of the people said,
I never heard.
wait a
that,
minute,
by
one
the
of the
way.
people, I read it in the
I heard
papers.
they offered.
And
Their last
now-
name is
didn't
Israel.
accept
That's
the
them.
that's right. Now,
Yeah.
with this particular one person in this building, the one person that made the complaint against them said to them, listen, I have some problems in the kitchen. I want you to fix it. And then they ended up moving out and vacating the apartment. What they did was they started to renovate the apartment of the leaks and the fixing up. up of this old building that they purchased prior. Wait.
You're a fantasy
Wait a minute.
land,
After
man.
they started to break up and fix the place, these tenants snuck back in, moved back in, took repossession of their apartment, and made civil complaints, and they're in the court. Now they went to some stupid district attorney who has nothing better to do. Instead of arresting 20 shooters this week, 20 people got shot this week, and they don't know who did it. Another person got raped. Another person gets robbed, but they're too busy after these two landlords who are in civil court evicting their people. And you're going to say, Heshy, you're mentally ill. I have a landlord that I'm working for right now, has a beautiful building, fixed up everything, painted everything, cleaned everything, beautiful. One lady won't move out of her apartment. Not a problem. He says, pay your rent. No, I don't want to pay my rent. I have problems. He's trying to get in. I myself sent her certified letters. She won't let him in. She purposely floods the place below. Now they almost have her out. She's now considered mentally ill by one of the judges.
Now she's stuck
Right.
there.
And
And
the judge cannot throw her out. They're going to bring her back.
But if
This
she's
goes up.
mentally ill, they can commit her.
But they're not, because they're playing the game. Now, if you were in Buffalo, Conneticut, and any other town but New York City without these corrupt
long
big judges, she'd be long gone. But this lady can get away with
But
it.
please do not mix up the stories of the landlords
These
that go in
landlords went
and
to fix
they
their
didn't go in legally.
They went in, they were allowed to
went
get in.
there and they made believe they were going to fix a room or something, and they tore the place
Not
to
true.
shreds.
That's not true. They
What?
Fall apart.
You
They
know this
did
firsthand,
tear
or
it
this is what
apart.
you're reading in the
Right.
paper?
Now, I have a question for you. These people that live in the apartment, they don't know how to maintain their own apartment?
What do you
They
think?
could,
you're
they
saying?
fall
It's the
apart.
landlord's job.
You mean, woman, you mean that this place was in such bad disarray that the landlord had to rip out the whole kitchen?
Yes.
No,
allegedly, I don't know.
The landlord wanted to renovate the apartment. He wanted to get it off rent
Market rate.
stabilization. Right, because he wanted to get it to market rate. And he thought he can do it at quickie. He filed with the building department that he's going to renovate the building, but the building will be vacant.
So what happened?
So nobody will come inspect it. Okay?
No, they come inspect
They
it.
come inspect, but for different reasons. They don't come for the tenants' issues.
Yeah, okay.
So, and that's what he did. Okay,
I
and
disagree
meanwhile,
with you.
the tenants were living in there.
No, the
guy-
tenants were not living in
No,
there.
they
During
moved
renovation,
out.
they moved out, and then they moved back in.
And no. They moved out, but they were allowed to stay to use the bedrooms. They couldn't use the bathroom or kitchen. I
Well,
know the
How do
story.
you function
Don't
without
tell
a
me.
bathroom and a kitchen? Though,
Okay.
if you're living there?
Maybe they
And
might
there's
move
no
different
reason
places.
for you. 1 minute. There's no reason for you, just because you're in the business of taking care of violations.
No, I take
and
care
all
of tenants
that.
too. I defend
There's
tenants.
no reason for you to go with these landlords and make believe that they're legit.
All I know is they
weren't legit.
they pleaded
They
not
didn't
guilty,
Of
and you.
course
And,
they-
Of course, even
They
the
should be
rapists.
put in
Murderers
prison.
plead not
They
guilty.
should be put in prison.
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know about prison, but
man.
have
Let
you
them go to
fine.
prison. They'll be fine.
Do you hold on? Do you
Yeah.
know? Do you know the people involved in this personally, or have you heard from their side of the story?
No.
So you're just going based on what the papers are
Right,
saying, which makes
yeah.
a good
And we
story.
know
Yeah,
We
and
don't
I'm
know
going
anything.
on it also.
Right.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
know
I'm just
that.
saying we don't know
Yeah,
anything.
let's not make believe I have to hear it, from the horse.
I have a feeling that they're probably not so innocent and so clean, but it might not be as bad as the papers are making it sound.
I
That's
disagree
all.
with you.
I don't know.
According to their lawyer, they're going to be able to prove their innocence. Thank you, caller, for your time. I appreciate
That's
it.
why they paid a lawyer. What do you think?
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, guys. Okay, take another call, and then I switch subjects.
Okay, this is the Just Enough
Oh, right.
Heshy
No, I don't
Show.
want to switch.
No?
We're on Monday and Tuesday from
I'd
7
rather
to 9
fight than
p.m.
switch.
By the way, how is your chocolate bar, Mr. Neal?
I want you to tell everybody. Everybody has to know everything I do. I sleep. You have
Well,
to tell everyone.
nobody sees you
I
on the
have to-
camera.
Right.
Nobody sees you hiding over there.
I
Everybody,
don't want to be
you know
seen.
that everybody calls me.
I
up.
want to
So-
be heard, not seen.
So yes, this
I'm
is the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can call us at 718-303-9090.
I guess
Well,
my parents
Hello,
are
you're on the
getting
air with Uncle Heshy, if he lets you talk.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Okay,
What's
good.
up?
So let me ask you, since you're sticking up for the tenants, were you there? Did you see what the allegations were, or why are you taking a one-sided
Let me
thing over
tell you.
there?
Let me tell you a little secret just about me in my
Uh-huh.
personal life.
Uh-huh.
I've been in over probably 90,000 apartments
Yes, he
in
has.
the last 20 years.
Yes, yeah, and so have I, Neil.
Okay, so please. I know what goes on. I'm very familiar
But
with
Neil, before you, I'm gonna interrupt you, Neil. I want to interrupt you. Neil, how many of those 90,000 apartments that we've been in that the tenants purposely don't take care of their own place? I know I was a tenant when I was younger. I took care of my place better than anybody could ever see. You can eat off and lick off the floors.
But it depends if they're able to.
What do you mean they're able to? What do you mean you're not going to be taking? My mother's 91 years old.
No, some people are just living like slobs.
And you have rats and mice in your stove, and you don't care, and you don't clean.
Right.
And of course you're going to have flies flying around your house if you're not going to flush your toilet.
Now, what does that have to do with the landlord walking in illegally
because
and gutting the apartment?
He didn't gut the apartment. He had to replace the kitchen because these animals broke it up.
No, he gutted the apartment.
Idea. Why don't we agree to disagree?
No, I have a better idea. Why don't we wait until all the facts come to light in the court of law, and then we can pass judgment?
But my question
is, that's a good philosophy for everything.
This is not a criminal offense.
No, it's not.
Well, it says they face 15 years in jail time.
Exactly.
So that's criminal.
But the
criminal. Then you didn't listen yesterday. Then you didn't listen.
I didn't.
That the government issued 6 million tickets last year. Yeah. Somebody taking a leak on the street and somebody throwing litter out the window, and about 25% of those people decided it was a joke and didn't show up in court. And you know what? A warrant for their arrest for throwing a bottle of water out the window.
Right.
It doesn't mean they'll spend time in jail.
Yes, you do.
They turn themselves in. They go straight to court.
No, they don't. They go for a day or two to jail till they get bail.
That's not called being in jail.
Yeah, but that is taking away from our economy. Now they want to know.
6 million cases. 6 million cases in the courthouse.
But that's how they enforce it, to make people show up, because otherwise no one would ever show up.
And you know what?
New York City holding cells.
I've been in one.
Way worse than jail.
I spent a nice 24-hour stint in one of those.
Okay, and for what? For what? For taking a leak on the streets?
In the cage with 50 other people.
And you know what? I have a lawyer who was a friend of mine, and he was. I have a lawyer that was a friend of mine. Perfect record, never did anything wrong. The man is clean like a whistle.
He's a lawyer.
Doesn't make a difference. The boy does charities, a good work. What happened was his wife forgot to mail in the check for the ticket.
Yeah, that's what happened.
They suspended his license, and he was driving at 11:30 at night. There,
one ticket.
Yeah, I swear.
I owed $65, and when I got out of the jail, finally saw the judge. They said, "Okay, $65." I said, how much did it cost you guys to put me through the system?
Right.
For $65, I could have just given the cops $65.
And the cops got
They locked you for $65.
This guy was locked for $115.
And I bet you
that's it.
They pulled him over and they made a huge big deal.
Oh, they arrested me with the handcuffs and they put me in.
And you know why he was pulled over? Broken taillight.
Yeah.
Right, it's always the license.
Listen. At the end of the day, it's a big, complicated system. It's not always perfect.
But you have 6 months. We have backlog court cases, rape cases, backlog 3 or 4 or 5 months or a year. But you know what? We're too busy with these stupid little things. And you know what?
But at the same time,
our good mayor, de Blasio, wants to stop this, but Bratton says no, because we have to go with the broken windows policy. We don't stop the little people.
Come on. At a PDA. Let's get him in the mix.
Pat Lynch is an idiot to begin with.
But the 3 of them.
No, but the cops anyway. They have their own rules, their own game.
But you know what?
Thank God today, I think it was, I forgot what town it was, in Maryland, they finally arrested 6 cops, or indicted 6 cops because
that happened over the weekend.
They arrested a man, they put him in the car.
No one knows what happened, though.
You know what has happened? No one knows what happened. They took a man into a police car and his spine broke in half.
Yep.
Explain to me this. The man's spine broke in half.
A meteor must have fallen from the sky.
Exactly. But Neil, I love all police officers, and I'm calm.
I thought all police cars are equipped with dash cams and cameras.
Not yet. Looks forward.
Right.
The dash cam.
And it does nothing. Looks inside the car.
Nothing.
Let's take another caller real quick before we lose her.
Okay, take another call.
Some guy must have just cracked him, and
I just wanted to say, so why don't we have a debtor's prison? Because it's like in London.
Oh, stop that!
Like back in the olden days.
It took us a couple of 100 years to stop the debtor's prison.
Exactly. We stopped it, and then we just use it in a different form. That's crap.
I understand.
Use your brain and don't give anybody credit. That's why we have the government.
Just kill people.
Okay, Neil, let us take a caller. Go ahead.
Okay, okay, producer.
Okay, this is the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can call in at 718-303-9090. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Hi, this is Mike Hawk speaking, and I would like to speak
That's
to Uncle
hilarious.
Heshy.
I was also in second grade. What's up?
I would love to speak to Uncle Heshy because I swear to you, I'm his #1 fan. I've got a shirt, a hat, everything to match. And I want to speak
He
to
has
the man in
shirts.
charge.
I love you, Mike. How are you?
He has
You're not,
shirts.
you know, we have a Mikey. You're not Mikey, but I love you. What's doing, Mike? How are you?
I'm driving around in the city, and I say, you know what? Today I'm going to put on 6:20 a.m. You know why? Because my Uncle Heshy's on the air.
I
And
love
I'm
you.
listening to you, and I can't. I just can't stop. You guys are awesome. You should win an award. You guys should get on that.
How many
Okay, Mike, I didn't pay you that much money, Mike.
Do you have any connections with the
Honestly,
Globe,
when I
Academy Awards?
listened to you guys and I heard about these tickets, first thing that came to mind, you could ask Uncle Heshy. Me, I love cars, and I get these criminal tickets for BS for nonstop for my exhaust, and I sit in criminal court for 6 hours for a $150 ticket, which they don't have a DBM reader to fight me on, and then they tell me if I want to come back to court to plead not guilty. Are you kidding me? You know how many times I'm going to go through this? And then the judge tells me that if you got enough money to put the exhaust on, you should have enough to pay $150. These guys are nuts.
And that's nothing, Mike. And that's nothing. But how many other times did you see that these inspectors or people just come back after you beat them in court, after you show them their
yeah.
With a bunch of BS they bring to beat you again. Yeah.
Look at how many times we've been to ECB, and I'm talking about 96% of our 480 violations were won, and they would keep reissuing.
480 violations with 96% of them. Wait a minute. And now what happens, Mike, when we lose? We're allowed to file something called an Article 78, right?
Correct. We're even on the 4% that we lost, we're on Article 78 currently.
Not everybody can afford. How much does it cost to file an Article 78?
Well, yeah, it goes all the way out to, we've only got about 15 violations, and we've already spent over $15,000.
And the whole total of those violations don't even equal about $10,000.
Don't even equal it. But when you got it, why not? You want to it's the principle.
But Mike, that's you. But what about the little person that can't afford it? And what do? They stand in court and they cry and they just have no choice.
And then they lose their building, and the people like those big guys going by it.
Oh, this is Big Mike.
This is This is Big Mike.
This is Big Mike.
And then we want to know why you have so many.
Mike, when you're in court, Mike, is there any like prejudice, Jewish, black, Muslim, Chinese, or they go after everybody?
Oh, they go after everyone. It doesn't matter what race, religion. I'm Indian myself, but I've been here my whole life.
But Mike, I was telling
all they care about is the one color, and that's green.
And Mike,
baby.
I was telling them of a story how there was an enforcement agent from I think the sanitation, and in a period of 2 hours, you're gonna love this. She issued 147 violations.
Wow.
Wait a minute. A total of $11,000 to the same guy. To the same guy. The guy was arguing. He says, "Listen, it doesn't make sense. I understand one or two." She went for, and there was no possible way that she was able to take a lunch break, that she clocked in and out and was able to make it from one side of town to the other to issue him a ticket in 2 separate addresses.
Yeah, one of our Article 78 arguments is that the task force actually mapped out exactly how to go through Brooklyn to Manhattan in a certain way on a map. If you look at it from the 311 complaints, which were internally made, and we mapped it all out, and there was an exact time schedule, which it was only beneficial to one person, which would be the mayor's task force.
Wow.
So when they want to go after you, they find a place.
They'll make their own 311 complaints. They'll do anything they have to get into your building.
Right.
You just gotta know.
And they lie to get Mike. I mean, we have so many violations that they just make up stories, and we beat them, and still they come back and they try to change the code till they win, until you give up. And Mike, by mistake. Now, Mike, I remember you were in court with me one day when I was like a Jewish holiday. Remember? And they wouldn't let me get. No. It was they wouldn't let me to get off. And what did I do? I told them it was a Purim Jewish holiday. And what did I do? How did I show up in court?
He was wearing.
Tell me he was wearing a costume.
He was blue-faced clown that day with the blue hair, and he had it all going.
You didn't want to know something?
Everybody laughed, including the judge, and he let me go home.
That's probably not even the craziest thing that someone was wearing in court that day. Have you ever seen the New York court system?
If I would have looked here, I would have said, "Oh, could you please get out of my courtroom, whatever."
Yeah, she let me go home after, but they didn't believe me when I.
To you, they see crazier every minute than that.
Mike, you are wonderful. I love you. And Mike, can I ask you a question? Is Culver a bad word or a good word? And you're Indian.
I listen. I don't think it's a bad word, but until Culver opens up, I want to be first VIP and in front of the line.
You are.
You get your own bottle, table, everything.
A blue label bottle to everybody.
And Mike is an Indian. He doesn't even
Thank
know.
God he has what to look forward to.
Mike, I love you, Mike. You are.
Thanks for calling, buddy.
Have a good one.
You're always welcome by me, Mike. I love you very much. Thank you, Mike.
Nah,
You see, this is one of my people.
your
Esty,
people.
in the meantime,
How much did you pay him?
Esty, we know that Club Culver is not paying for this show, but who is paying for this show? And what show are you on?
Yes, you're listening to the Just Enough Heshy
Do you
Show.
hear that, Neil? You're listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. Miriam, did
Are
you
you
hear
Is it
listening?
enough?
We just had enough of Heshy.
Never, Justin. Not enough of Heshy. Go ahead.
Not enough.
So, well, you have the Black Label electronic cigarettes. Just go to blpremiumesig.com.
That's little Mikey.
Yeah, you can call Mikey at 561-239-5941. If you're looking for a personal trainer, Yossi Lefkowitz is your guy, located on 16th and 48th. You can reach him at 347-816-5207. We have Palm Gardens. You can reach Ellie Taub at 917-903-5375.
I love you, Esty.
Oh,
Senior
Esty.
Center that takes care of old people.
Old people, and they help them and they play games with
That's
them
right,
and
Neil.
stuff,
That's right. You want old people to sit at home and
You ever walk
suffer.
into these places?
I've been there when
They're
I was
all
young.
outside smoking.
Okay, next. Go ahead.
Are they smoking weed cigarettes from Mikey?
Oh, that's a good line.
Wow,
Let's go
wow,
after
okay.
them.
Wow, I hate you. Go
That
ahead.
social security check will eat it all up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, we have Green Line Building Solutions. They do asbestos, lead inspection, DOB, violations, permits and plans, code compliance, preventative maintenance, HPD, lit stop work orders, free consultation, free therapy. No, I'm kidding. You can reach them at 718-871.
Always got to pay for therapy.
Yeah. 0382.
What was the number?
718-871-0382. This is the Just Enough Heshy Show. We're on Monday and Tuesday
I didn't
from
hear you,
7 to
Tom.
9 p.m. You can get us on Facebook, Twitter. We're live on YouTube, and you can advertise with us at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. But if you're looking for us, just put in Just Enough Heshy, and everything will come up.
But,
Hey.
I want you to take a caller, but I want to just
One
tell you
minute.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Neil. No, you
No,
do.
I just want to do
No,
a shout out to my friend
So, shout out.
Marty at Quick Aid Pharmacy on 13th Avenue, 39th Street.
You know, Z, he sent us pizza the other
He's
night.
the best.
He's the best. You
He
missed it.
is really
He
the
sent us
best.
Where was
pizza,
this?
fries, right here.
I
He sent it
just
to the
tell
studio.
everyone out there one thing.
Pizza.
Yeah, isn't that great?
I'm just telling you one thing.
I thought they sent us some
This
drugs.
pharmacy, besides the selection of goods that they sell, tremendous store, is actually the best. If you go there once, you'll always go back there. That's all I can tell you. That's if you use any of the big chains or anything like that, it kills them
Very
on
good.
price
Good.
and
Personal
service.
service.
Very good. So,
Price
anyways,
and service.
so go ahead. I was going to talk
Go ahead.
about the Egyptian president
So wait,
today, but we'll skip
yeah.
that.
Who's
We'll
the
talk about.
Egyptian president?
So this guy, this old Masari, right? Masari, Morsi. No, not the
He
new
was
guy,
thrown
Sisi,
out.
not the guy. So
I thought it was
Masari.
Pharaoh.
Right.
No, so Masari today got sentenced to 20 years in jail.
Wow.
And only because while he was president, and I didn't know really the story, he allowed his people, his organization, forget that to take over, to kill 10 or 12 other people during demonstrations.
Wow.
Even though, and he says, oh, well, they've been doing it to us forever.
10 or
No,
12
he said it was
people?
self-defense. He said it was in self-defense,
No, but-
and that's why.
10 or 12
No, demonstrators. People were
Those
demonstrating.
people kill hundreds of
No,
people.
he did, but he was sentenced because, and him and his crew,
Innocent civilians, he said, and
right, and he didn't care, and he took over, and we thought that Musari would make a difference, but the Muslim Brotherhood is not good.
Yeah. No.
Well, and it took Obama
They're
quite
all-
some time to figure that
They're
out.
all bad, just
And
different
And
levels.
everyone told them. And everyone told them,
That's right.
why are you giving
But
these
Neil, we
people?
were tired. We needed a change.
We need a change.
We
You
need a
and
change.
Obama,
We need a
go
change.
change. Look at the Middle East now
Sure, we got
from
a
when
big change.
Obama came in.
I actually
Just
wanted to
look
talk
at
about that after we take this caller about some other
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah?
things.
Oh, yeah? You really?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
But
so take the
let's
caller.
take him.
So yeah, you can. This is the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can reach us at
Take
7.
The caller.
The producer wants you to say it.
You can reach us.
Neil,
for God's sakes!
Let her talk.
A little temper here.
Very temper. You see, that's why they're all Corvus.
We want to hear you.
Yeah. What are you saying out there, producer?
Come on,
You can reach.
All right,
What? It's her show?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're listening to the Just Enough SD show.
No, it's too much, SD.
Nah. Hey, the Just Enough Heshy Show.
Good
You
job.
can call in at 718-303-9090. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Hi, Uncle Heshy. Hi, everybody. It's pretty hot out there in your studio.
Yeah.
Listen, you're talking about tickets. There's another ridiculous thing that I noticed. I moved from New Jersey to Brooklyn 6 years ago. And I already paid a few $1,000s on the parking ticket.
That's it? So got off easy. Only a few thousand?
On alternative parking, that's a real big scam, in my opinion, because, look, the people lift cars, and the guy who owns the building gets another ticket next day from the sanitation inspector because he has a dirt right in front of the house. Whoever didn't move the car, like I didn't move my car, I get $45 tickets. Then the landlord of the building where they didn't clean get a $100 ticket.
Yep.
Right.
And my friend,
and if they don't, and they don't post those tickets, and if you don't go to court and you miss those tickets, that $100, sweetheart, not doubles, triples. It goes from $100 to $300, and you have 45 days.
I guess the super.
God forbid if you're sick and you
It's not the
they don't
super.
care.
They come between 6 and 8 in the
Right.
morning, and again in the evening. Where a normal person is not up between 6 and 8 in the
And
morning.
you know what? Even on
I get up at 4:30.
even on a smaller scale. Even on a smaller scale.
Who says you're a normal person?
so
You're
many-
above.
Wait, stop talking.
Above.
I like
all of
you,
us.
Miriam. You're always welcome on my show.
Let him talk.
There's so many streets in Brooklyn where my friends live. There's no alternative parking cleaning there, and believe it or not, the streets are cleaner, much cleaner.
Yeah,
than-
where there's no street cleaning, 100%. Marine Park, it's beautiful.
Well, now they're coming out with new
just
trucks. They
money,
have a couple of hundred new cleaning trucks
So
that
what does
come
that
out
mean?
with.
It's going to be cleaner?
It's supposed to be a better truck.
Oh, energy saving.
It's all about the
I
money.
know.
The
Stuff,
reason
yeah.
they
Well,
do the
thank
street
you,
cleaning is for
caller.
the money.
Thank you for your call. We appreciate it,
Well,
sir.
in the old days, they
Thank
used
you.
to send down a water truck.
Call
down
again.
the
Oh,
street.
you remember
I
that?
Yeah. Wow, that
And
was
if you,
great.
and if you parked on that side, oh boy, you were in trouble.
Right. I guess we'll take one more call before we go to station identification.
Oh, we have to do station
Yeah, we do.
again.
Yeah,
Nobody
what?
knows our station already.
I don't know.
So yeah, as before every caller, this is the Just Enough Heshy Show.
Oh, you do that before every call?
Yes,
I
you didn't
know.
notice?
We didn't know. I didn't
Yes,
know that, Neil.
No wonder
See,
it's a
I'm very
pain in the
No
smart.
wonder. I
ass.
was
I
wondering. I
noticed.
like her when she says my name, but that's not the point.
I
Oh,
know.
wow.
You would be happy if all she did was sit
Say,
there and say,
Heshy,
Uncle Heshy, Uncle Heshy.
That's right.
You'd be happy.
I
Yes.
love you, Esty.
So yes.
By the way, Esty, did I tell you have a beautiful bow in your hair today?
Yep.
She has a blue one, a new one today.
purple
Okay,
one.
let her talk. Let's go,
No,
Esty. Let's hear it.
Oh my
The
God.
caller's on the air.
Miriam, in a minute, I'm going to have to say Corba.
Okay, so this is the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can call in at 718-303-9090.
Oh, the producer walked in to threaten us.
Hello, you're on the air with
I don't
Uncle
like,
Heshy.
I don't like his beard.
Hello?
Yes,
Not a
hello,
beard,
caller.
It's called the thing.
A Van Duke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yitzi.
Van Dyke.
Yes, hi. I know Miriam. Miriam, I don't know if you recognize me. I went to Turo College.
She needs a little more info than
yeah,
that.
a little bit more because I know a lot of people that was in Turo College. What's
Yeah,
that?
you came. Yeah, you came down
Oh.
and spoke about your family.
Yes, I remember.
Oh, wow.
So I have to tell everyone, Miriam is an exceptional woman. She is a wonderful mother, a true hero to everyone.
She sounds like it.
And I just want to say that you did a good decision bringing her on the show and speaking about a wonderful cause we have today. And I'm a special educator myself. And with her help, she helped me a lot with my college experience. And today I'm a teacher myself, just like her.
Very good.
Wow.
You guys are very special people. Esty's also an advocate for women, if I'm correct, right?
Miriam,
Miriam,
advocate
Miriam.
for victims of abuse.
Victims of abuse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
me
men
too.
too?
Okay.
Wait, do you know that only 1% of
We
women
discussed
leave
it
their...
Thank you,
Time.
caller. Thank you, Yitzi. We appreciate
Thank you
the
very
call.
much. You
Miriam,
said
good luck.
compliment. Thank you.
So Miriam,
No
so
So
wait a
she
minute.
gave me an answer like it can't
Right.
be.
So wait a minute.
Like
So
it
only
can't
only
be.
That
women
is
get
not
abused.
true.
That
I
was
said I
the
would just not
answer.
discuss it on
I
the
know,
air.
I know, but I'm just
So,
It's a
saying.
private
so
issue.
what do you mean by women getting abused? What does that mean? I mean, what, you know, and I'm not going to knock you right
By the
now,
way,
Miriam.
my area of expertise, there's nothing she can say that I do not know on this topic.
We're going to find out in a minute. So Miriam,
Excellent.
now,
Oh,
One
Miriam,
minute, you have a degree in
God.
psychology?
No, I've just been studying it since I was about 12.
Okay, that's good.
now, Miriam,
Yes,
my
yes,
question is now,
yes.
I know women get abused, and it does
Wow.
happen.
You know it is? Only
And- but
1%
some-
of women leave their abused
But
husbands.
you know, but Miriam,
Head
is that
must
true,
be
Miriam?
So
Yes, but
big.
what, you know,
It is
abuse,
unbelievable.
women
Why
that
do you say
get
that?
abused, we're not only talking about husbands, we're talking about, there's a
Right.
multitude of different
Child
horrible
abuse.
things. Child abuse,
You know, women.
pedophiling,
yeah.
rape, molestation, girls, boys, men. It's all
Hey,
across the
people ask
board.
me, is there really rape in the Jewish community?
Of course.
Yes, there is.
Oh,
Terrible.
I'm sure you know
Yes.
Jewish Community Watch. I'm sure
Yeah.
you know Mayor Seawald. I'm sure you know Mark
yeah,
Mayor
Seawald, I
Appel.
know.
Mark Mayor
Mark
Pell, a
Mayor
good
Appel
boy.
is an amazing person.
Aren't
He
you going with
fights-
him somewhere tomorrow?
Yes, I'm going with him tomorrow to Albany. We are fighting for victims of abuse, and
Wow, that's
I'm going to
amazing.
talk to different people about special ed. It is our duty, our responsibility, our obligation to stand up for these innocent victims.
What are you doing for them?
We're going to fight for them.
But what can we do now?
What's
Why
the
is it?
fight?
What is
What
it?
do you
What,
do?
I don't
want
see
certain-
anything in our community helping
You
abuse.
don't
We
get it.
want certain laws to be passed. What I would really
What are
like.
the laws? I you know what I don't like? A woman going into the police station, and I've seen this a few times.
Mhm.
My husband touched me in the wrong way, and they, no, and they arrest him.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
And
They
it
do,
is a lot,
because
and
by
that's
law-
the first thing the lawyer says. Go to the court, go to the police house, make a report. He touched you, and boom, he gets arrested.
Because by law, they're petrified.
It's a
Then
very
they do-
one-sided thing, though.
It's true, but we have
Terrible
to do it.
system.
Let me explain to you
Well, let's
something.
get this.
'Cause
We have to do it. Why?
let me explain something. I was in that system. I worked for the NYPD. I understand why they're doing it. God forbid if this happens and that woman becomes physically abused
Yeah.
or dead, it's on that cop or detective's.
Right. It's not worth it for them.
But my point is, she's
Let's
using
first-
it. She's
I
using it.
understand
She's
for
using it to
leverage.
throw the
I
husband out.
understand. I
And
understand.
it's not right.
But honestly, hold on.
So that's what we do, investigation,
Wait.
and we find out what's going on, and they
You
have
know the
good
cops don't
lawyers.
investigate. They
Hold
don't
on
find
one
police.
second.
The
I
lawyers.
actually knew a woman who her husband raped her. Now you're saying, oh, that's not possible.
Yes,
but
it
basically,
is.
No, I'm saying a lot of people say that. Basically,
Oh.
she's in bed sick, and she's like, I don't want to do it, and they'd be like, I don't care, and just do it. So it can
Oh, I'm
happen.
sorry.
You
Of
think,
course
oh,
it
you're
is.
married, you have to. No, when your wife is feeling sick in bed, and you just decide, hey, I don't care about your feelings.
It has
that's
nothing to do
considered
with your
rape.
wife is sick or not. If a woman
Does
says
not want
no,
to. Right.
and you do it, it's called rape.
You know
I
what the
don't care
problem
what
is?
it
Today's day, no. People are like, oh, no doesn't mean no. They just need convincing. A lot of people say that no doesn't mean no, and which is so not
You know
okay.
what? The main issue is not the act itself. The main issue is that the authorities, and I'm talking now in the Jewish world, the authorities in the Jewish world do not care, do not help, do
They
not
do care. They
anything.
just don't want it to be publicized because
No,
it gives
they
us a bad
don't.
name. That's
They
what the
don't
problem is. It's not just with
care.
this. It's with a lot of things.
So, anyways,
They don't know how to deal. They don't
so
know how
you're
to deal
telling
with it.
me
They're
now,
not
now
trained.
Esty, woman,
biggest-
so Esty, so if I have a fight with my wife and I say, listen to her, sweetie, I'm broke this week. I'm sorry, and I don't have money. I'm a little short. And she says, well, I'm not going to sleep with you. I say, okay, no problem. I don't have the money for you. I mean, that's normal COVID. And then what happened was she says, you know what? I told her, well, I think I'm going to be not well. I don't think I'm going to make money next week. You better find a way and get me money. And I say, no. So she can now
This isn't really
say,
happening. It's better be an
so
example.
she can, wait a minute, she can now say, listen, let me sleep with you. And then at the last minute, while we're ready to do whatever you have to do, you automatically, she says, rape? No. But
Yes, you're supposed to stop if she says no matter at what point.
okay, I agree 100%.
It's like, okay, so I'm pinching you. You're like, that's fine, and then I'm pinching you harder and harder, and then you say no, and it gets more difficult, and you're just like, nah. Like you don't have that right. If anybody says no at any point, you stop.
Okay, we are going to commercial identification. I'm gonna have to stop everybody, so I'm gonna say my mid-show quote, Neil, and you're gonna love this one.
Oh,
I saved this for Neil.
Sounds like
This is about death.
Oh boy.
My favorite.
That's
Okay.
serious. Okay.
And I want you to.
Cheerful subject.
No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to go there. And yet death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it, and except for me. And that is it, and that it should be that way, because death is a very likely the single best invention of life.
What about these
It is
suicide
life's
bombers?
change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new.
What about these suicide bombers? They want to die.
It's good for inheritance.
It's good for everything. Anyways, everybody, you're listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. We're going to identification. Stay tuned while everybody runs out of here to smoke a cigarette. Don't run away. Stay tuned, and we love you all. And it was so. I have the trivia question coming up, and the horoscope coming up. We'll be right back. Anyways, everybody, welcome back to the second hour of the Just Enough Heshy Show. Esty is going to, of course, do our horoscope in a couple of minutes, and she might even come up with a funny story. But I want to do our trivia question of the day, and Esty, I have a question for you. Do you know, and Miriam, do you know who John Lennon is?
I do. He's a singer or something?
He was a singer.
I
He
just know
was
his
a singer.
glasses. Did he have glasses? Is that him?
That's his son. I think John Lennon Jr. Is that? Oh, Sean Lennon. That's his son. So you know about it. So now, do you remember about? I'm sorry. Oh my God, I want to say this terribly. In 1980, about 30 years ago, or is that above your head again?
Now, anything that was in the past, unless it had to do with Freud or anything psychological.
So John, what happened to John Lennon?
He died either from overdose or someone killed him.
Yes, Miriam, I'm going to ask you the question. How did John Lennon die? He was shot right on the street. Right. He was shot on the street.
So that she doesn't have to know, but I do have to know. Like,
well, John Lennon is not political, so I really don't know about.
So you know politics, and that's your area. So everyone has their area. But
so I'm going to ask you, about Brad Pitt, because you know about him.
Actually, I had to work really hard to know about this because I have no interest, but my friends are interested in these things. Like, I have no interest in any sort of
John Lennon was shot in the street.
John Lennon was shot in the street by a guy by the name of Mark Chapman. And my question to you, and this guy is just crazy. I mean, whatever. John Chapman shot Lennon outside the Dakota apartment buildings in New York City on December 8th, 1980. And he shot Lennon 5 times because he's an idiot. And he now
wanted to make sure he's dead.
And now he's getting out of jail. My question to you is, and to question to anybody who's listening to the radio show, and I know a lot of you guys are not interested, but John Lennon was killed by this guy Chapman. What book was he carrying? And there's a reason I asked that question, because that was the reason why he claims that he shot him or whatever it is. What book? And it's a it's a very famous book, and it's required reading in school. So yeah, it's a very serious book. So answer your questions. Now, I know that I cheat and I don't want to give you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you guys out tonight, because last night I didn't help you out. So I'm going to give you some hints.
You probably don't need to. People still know.
Was Mark Chapman A? The answer, question A, is the Bible. Was it B, The Catcher in the Rye? 3, C, To Kill a Mockingbird? Or D, A Brave New World?
I was going to pick C. I don't know why.
Number 1, that answer is wrong, and you've helped everybody out. And 2, we don't answer our own questions till afterwards. So now you have one last question. Is it the Bible? Was
now
it
the prize went down to only $8.
Wait.
Catcher in the Rye or The Brave New World?
By the way, I wanted to say, like, I'm a big reader, but I used to hate reading until Harry Potter came out.
Oh, God.
No,
Harry Potter's a comic book.
Maybe.
To read?
No, hold on. This is what happened. No,
boy.
let me tell you. I used to hate reading. I would not pick up a book. My mother read the first 3 Harry Potter books every night a chapter. The 4th
Okay.
book.
By the way,
finish.
Ralph just called in and said he actually got it right, but I'm not going to give Ralph $10. I'm sorry. Ralph.
Okay, wait, Esty, finish your story. I'd like to hear this. Shut. Z, come on.
So Google it.
Esty, let me hear. Yes.
So yeah, so she read it, and when the 4th book came out, it was taking too long, and I wanted to know so badly what the story was. I read the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, and after that, those books were very difficult to read. Everything else was easy, and that's what made me want to read.
Okay,
and,
so what was the first book you read after the Harry Potter books?
That's a good question.
Hopefully something intelligent.
I've read a lot. By now, I've read a
Okay.
bunch of these. My mother went to college. I would read all her books that she brought back.
those are school books. I'm talking about like a novel or you know.
Novels I read all the time. It's easy reading.
To Kill a Mockingbird. That is a book to read.
I think I read it.
An amazing book.
I think I read it and hated
it. Should be required reading in school.
It is a required reading.
Wait, a lot of people don't know this, but the author who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird, she actually just put out a sequel to it.
Right.
And most people were like,
and
what?
She just died. She just died, I think.
Did she?
She just,
that
I think right afterwards she just died.
She wrote one book 50 years ago almost. It's an all-time classic.
It was a movie.
And she just all of a sudden reappeared. She just reappeared and boom, put out a sequel. And people were just like shocked, like she's still around.
Know what the name of the sequel is?
I can look it up right now.
Okay, wait. You know which books I read? What was it? The Count of Monte Cristo, Gone with the Wind. Those are long books, but like
I read the Great Illustrated Classics version. Yeah.
No, I read the real one.
Esty, it's not the long. It's the intelligence.
I have a very good vocabulary. Just things that are interesting.
You know.
I just no. By the way, Gone with the Wind, I read for the psychology. I watched the movie and I saw all her expressions, and I was thinking, what is she really thinking? So I read the book so you can see her thoughts in it. Like I sometimes do that.
Anyways,
and by the way, the Count of Monte Cristo, the movie was better than the book.
Oh God,
So
that happens to be the movie was not better than the
First
book.
of all, she's really old.
Really.
They haven't.
I love the book.
They don't have a name for it. They just found manuscripts for it.
No, I think
mean,
there was a
it's
name.
on the
There is a name of
Is
it.
there?
There is a name for it. I was listening to it. There is a name.
Go Set a Watchman. That could be the name for it, but it's not published yet. It's just that they found manuscripts. But she is really old. It's just amazing because people had no clue she was still around. Like people just assumed like she must be dead because an author that puts out such a book
What's the author's name on
Her
that?
name is Harper Lee.
Harper Lee.
Yeah.
Right.
I read that in like 7th grade.
Anyways, Esty, give us a
high.
horoscope because the people are calling. We have things to discuss and have problems to discuss.
I got big things to discuss.
Okay. If today is your birthday, the most important thing over the coming I don't get it. Whenever there's a birthday, they always tell you about the future.
Can you tell us tomorrow's? Because tomorrow's my birthday.
Do you know that?
I don't have tomorrow.
Do you know today's Queen Elizabeth's birthday?
So this is for
Really?
Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Let's hope she listens.
Okay.
The most
How
important
old is
thing
she?
over the coming.
Oh, I think she's about 89, 90.
Anyways, the most important thing. The most important thing over the coming 12 months is that you choose your battles carefully. Not that you will go looking for confrontation, of course, but sometimes it will be unavoidable. Each time you must ask yourself, what do I get out of this? That doesn't seem okay. Taurus. Today it's no longer Aries, so it's no longer me. Anybody Taurus here?
Yes, I am.
Oh, Miriam is a Taurus.
So
Go
this
ahead.
is for you. Okay. It's time to finish those tasks that should have been completed a long time ago. The sun in your sign means your energy levels will peak over the next few days, so get on top of your workload so you can stop worrying about it.
Yeah.
There's only
Go,
one
Miriam.
problem. Everything is done. I had to testify today for IEP, for Board of Education. Everything is done. All
Nice.
the reports, everything is done.
You're a
So,
good girl. By the way, it's one of my favorite actors, Tony Danza's birthday today.
Tony Danza.
He was
one of your favorite
he was on the show called Taxi in the 1980s.
I know. And he was your favorite guy on there?
Yeah. More
Whoa.
funnier than that other crazy guy.
DeVito, yeah,
Vito,
sure.
I didn't
You're
like
out of
DeVito
your
on the show.
mind.
I don't know.
Come on.
You're
I
right.
like
Even.
DeVito.
By the way, you know the woman, Henna? What's her name? Henna, right?
Yeah.
You know, she has a
She has a
photographic
photographic memory. She knows everything that she's ever seen,
every
read.
day
I
of her
watched the
life
report
is
of her.
remembered.
Right.
Everything.
So she knows more than
She's
you.
like,
What does
there
that
are
mean?
7 people like
So what
that.
does she have in her brain? Like pictures of everything? How does she
Everything.
do
They
that?
showed. They just did a thing on
By the way,
it
she
the
was
other
probably
day.
an ESFP
Wow.
because those people are
Her
good at it.
and like 7 other people. They can tell you mention any date or day, and they'll tell you the whole thing.
She
What happened?
reminds me of my
Can I-
daughter. My autistic daughter remembers things. When I was 2 years old, we went down this street and that. Wow, you have a memory.
Yeah. But I want to tell you guys something today in history, Esty. I'm going to ask you a question.
By the way, on Google, every day it tells you what's that day. Like if you click on the word Google, I'm just not interested.
Today, John Adams was sworn in as the first vice president.
Nice.
Who is John Adams?
The first vice president?
No, Esty. No. You see, I knew you.
Photographic memory.
Esty, actually, come on, Esty, give me a better answer.
John Adams. You see, I know this from South
There's
Park.
a movie. What South Park had John Adams?
By the way, most of my information I get from South Park.
People don't understand.
No,
That is the root of the problem, right?
No, they make fun of it, and that's how I get the information.
Most of his information from movies.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. From his phone. I downloaded.
He doesn't read.
That's not true. I read very well.
Okay, Heshy, who's John Adams?
Adams was our second president.
But not John Quincy Adams. That's someone.
No, that was his son or grandson.
As his grandson.
No.
You know something? I remember looking at it. Like
John Adams' son. John Adams' son became the 6th president.
That's right.
And then he had, I think, a grandson or a grandnephew that was John Quincy Adams.
They're like the Bushes already.
Oh, by the way, hold on. I remember looking at all the presidents, and I remember like I couldn't memorize all of them, but I did.
You couldn't all 44 of them or whatever. 40.
Oh wait, so that's not important. Who's deciding this? That's what I'm not getting. Either way, I remember that one president became president because he was vice president, and then the other person died, so we didn't actually get elected.
That's right.
Like I remember. No, I don't know who that was. Why? Because I don't know names. I know
John F. Kennedy was
right.
right.
But I understand concepts. I remember concepts, not names or dates. Why is that so difficult to understand?
Let me ask you, which president
do you know 40?
Esther,
do you know 44 kinds of different shoes?
All right, Esty,
I don't know name brands. I don't know.
Oh, by the way,
I'm interested in psychology and nothing else.
I was sitting
philosophy and sociology.
I was sitting in the green room today, Neil, and Esty says to me, "I have a great idea. Why don't we make shoes that you could take the heels on?"
Actually, it's already been. There's patents on it. I wanted it. I thought about this.
Right? Isn't that cool?
Oh, they're stealing my idea. It was my idea first.
They fold in,
and they didn't do it. They didn't do it.
They didn't want to give them money for it. That's what it was. Because they said it was a stupid idea.
Right.
I don't know. The judges.
Wait, hold on a second. That idea. No. That idea is brilliant because you're walking to a club, your heels hurt, you take off the heels, you walk, and then once you're there, you put it on.
To the people, and if they feel that it's something good, they'll give you money for it. It's a patent.
Well, they're crazy. It would go crazy.
And you know why?
They try to steal the idea.
Because they said the shoe manufacturers would not
go for it.
Would not go for it because they want you to buy new shoes.
That's the whole point. They want you to rub down the shoes, so you buy new shoes and your heel breaks, and then you buy new shoes.
Time to take a call.
Yeah, let's take a call really quick.
Yes, you're listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. We're on Monday and Tuesday from 7. Between 7 and 9. For the love of God, I'm going to yell at you every time you interrupt me, and I will not let you talk. The end.
It doesn't bother me that you yell.
Right, SD. We all Corvus yell at us.
I think once every 15 minutes is sufficient to remind people what show they're listening to.
Anyways, this is the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can reach us at 718-303-9090. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy. Mitch?
Hey, SD, how you doing tonight?
How's it going?
It's Mitch. How's everything going?
We're doing great, Mitch. We're doing great. We have a lot of people here today.
Fantastic. First of all, Mitch from New Jersey, but formerly, of course, Avenue J. So I want to say hi to Avenue J.
Yes, Mitch. I remember you. How are you? Avenue J is doing well.
Very good, very good. Unfortunately, it's funny. I only left it 5 years ago. Went in for a visit about 6 months ago. Good. There's nothing there anymore. I used to go to. God, really, you talk about a change in the street. Is I even remember before there was a Total College, believe it or not, on Jay.
Do you remember KD? That's the saddest thing that left.
No, thank God that's over with. I hated KD.
I remember. I used to play.
That went right through you.
Right through me. Went sideways through me. In the beginning, when KD came out, me and Neil used to drive to Cape. Remember, they used to close like 11 o'clock at night. We zoomed over there at nighttime for that.
The one on Jay?
No, Borough Park. We used to be so happy. No, the one on Jay, we ran over to it. That was also there. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember playing hockey where Total College used to be, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we used to play. Well, I went to a high school that no longer was on M, called BTA, and we used to play hockey against Yeshiva Flatbush.
Wow.
Right across
the street. Right on the corner over there. Wow.
Yeah. Listen, I just first of all, I want to say to Miriam, first of all, about autism. I was curious. A lot has been going on recently about deterring that parents should not vaccinate their children. I was wanting to know what your opinion on that was.
The truth is baloney. Sorry, but has been documented.
No, it's okay. I just you know that there's been a lot. You realize that that's been a big deal among parents of autistic children, that they're saying that they unfortunately might have gotten it because of.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Because what happened was there was a supposedly a big doctor in London. His name was Dr. 1 minute, please.
Keep going.
There was a big doctor, Dr. Wakenfield in London, who supposedly had big studies of people, of children that got vaccinated with different types of MMR and different vaccines that became autistic severely and different. And people really believed him, and it sounded real. And he had the in London, I don't know if it's the FDA or whoever, was behind them. And he made all the books and all the newspapers and everything. And people really believed him because supposedly he was very, very influential. We found out, and everybody knows this, 5 years later, the whole thing was a fake. He falsified all the documents. Because he got a lot of money.
Well, it has to be false because it's simply not true. So obviously, if he had some sort of study,
but you know what? It doesn't
money.
matter. It was government money. He also got money from private people to make up these things. A lot of people believed it, and then we had this big celebrity, Jenny McCarthy, who said that her son
she needs to just go
became
away.
cured from autism.
Yeah, not what she has to say.
And there's no such thing as a cure. I am living proof of this. I know what it's all about. It's quite difficult, but there is no cure. We can try as much to help.
But what
Vaccines
about this? What about
make a difference. Look, my daughter got all her vaccines and she was severely autistic. My son, I said, I'm not going to vaccinate because, okay. And you know what? He's also autistic. When he turned 5 and I said, this is ridiculous, I vaccinated him.
There you go.
So it makes absolutely no difference.
Yep.
I don't want to bring in holy stuff, but remember, there's somebody up there, God, and he's the one that's running this world.
God's a woman. Next, thank you, Mitch, for calling in. We love you. Call again. Okay, SD, push number 2 for me, baby girl.
Okay, mention the show.
No, do not mention the show. We're not going to let you
Talk
mention the
about
show. I will mention the show. You're listening to the Just Enough Heshy show with Neil. Monday, Tuesday, between 7. They're talking into my ear.
Ralph, what's up? You're on with Just Enough Heshy.
Ralph, I love you.
It's great to talk to you guys. And listen, Miriam, I'm glad you're quashing that myth about the autism connected with the vaccines. But I will mention this one caveat. There's a very small percentage that have an allergic reaction to the mercury and the other substances put in with these vaccines, which I have no idea why they add these.
Okay, so
these ingredients.
Hold on.
I didn't even say anything yet.
Okay.
There's this very, very small. If you have a certain genetic factor that is very sensitive to this type of thing, you'll find that if you study a little bit on it, and you can tell me differently, that there are some cases where this extreme condition exists. Go ahead. I want to hear your point of view.
Okay, so the first thing like this, the MMR, the mercury that's there is synthetic. It's not real. They took it out a long time ago in the 1980s. It is all synthetic. The other thing is, yes, it's synthetic. It's not real. So that mercury is not.
What's it there for, though?
To fight certain bacteria that we have in our body.
The synthetic mercury sometimes has the same effect as actual mercury has. That's the problem. That mercury was taken out in 1985, but it somehow has the same effect. Whatever they're doing, why they're doing it, I think it's a preservative of some kind. Why they're doing it is because to preserve these vaccines they make in mass. And when that hits the body, it doesn't recognize it as something that's not poisonous, and it recognizes this synthetic mercury as actual mercury. That's what I've read and what I've studied on it. I could be wrong, but what else are you going to say about it?
The main issue is that it's not the child becomes autistic because of the shot or the vaccine. It's because child A, I'm just going to name him or her A, has a condition in their body and they're more susceptible to this. So when they get the vaccine, it triggers something in their brain.
Yeah, I mean,
and not necessarily will it be autism. It could be anything. But this particular thing triggers something in their development, and that's why this causes it.
You know, Ralph,
yeah, we'll start. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You know, Ralph, you and me, we should start something to make some kind of a fund for special education or autistic children, to do something, to start a program and help these people out and do something big. We got to come up with a big idea, you and me.
Well, you know, I have advocates on my program for this very cause. And they're wonderful, and they're so devoted, and they're really, and they don't necessarily, like Miriam has this in her direct family. These people have taken on this cause mostly because they're affected by it from some form in their life. You know, either they have a relative who's been through this. And let me tell you something, they're the most devoted people that you ever would want to see. They really are.
Like
and,
in particular, this person I always talk about, Mark Mayer Appel. I mean, he fights to the death for us. I always tell him, you're a protector. Yeah.
Anyways, let's go a little lighter, Ralph. I know you're a handsome, good-looking boy. Esty, is Ralph a handsome, good-looking?
Yes.
Now, Ralph, you jog, right? You go jogging and marathoning?
What is this? We're ready to here.
No,
oh, boy.
not for, but I do you, right, Ralph?
I run every day, and I work out every day. I do something every day.
But did you ever do the marathon?
Yeah, I did. I ran a marathon 8 times, and I didn't run it the last time.
Now, I was reading a story about a young girl who lost her leg in the Boston Marathon 2 years ago. Oh, yeah. And she ended up this time going and finishing the marathon.
Right. Yeah, in a wheelchair.
Amazing. In a wheelchair.
Not in a wheelchair. Oh, no.
No. Oh, with a prosthetic.
With a prosthetic leg.
That was someone else.
Somebody else won it in a wheelchair and gave the wreath to one of the kids.
That's what it was.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, Ralph, would have you run in the Boston Marathon if you were there?
You know, I would run in a minute. I've never have just the New York Marathon, but I thought about it, and that's another question where they're actually going to spare this terrorist the death penalty. I've been talking about that forever, and I was wondering how you'd feel on that. Now, this man who was supposed to be an accomplice to his brother, the brother was supposed to be the man with all the ideas, but how do you feel? I'd like to know from the panel. How do you feel? Do you feel he deserves?
I don't know. I don't believe in the death penalty at all. It's again not up to us. But listen to me.
It's God. You can't have the right over someone else.
Putting this man in a cell for the next 40 years of his life in a little hole in the ground. Trust me, he's never gonna see the light of day. I mean, maybe he will. Maybe
death is easy.
I hear gossip that Madoff might be let out soon.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I hear. He's old, he's sick, he's making a deal.
What about that guy who was in prison?
But this guy, I am, and by the way, but even if you, Jonathan Paul.
Yeah, is he ever getting out?
I wish.
But Ralph, even if you're right to put him to death, what have we gained? Well, what? So today I was reading a story about hearing a story about a lady says, I was injured in the Boston Marathon. I don't really care what they do to him. It makes no difference to me. It doesn't bother me. Let's go on with our life. Let this guy rot and burn in hell. Let me tell you something.
Heshy, I never said I don't believe in the death penalty either. So I don't feel that he should be put to death. And the direct family, the mother of one of these poor people that were victims, she said, very strongly that I don't want this guy to be put to death. It's not for us to decide. I think you have to just put him away for forever, for eternity.
A lot of people, but don't worry about it. This boy is gonna have a first class seat in hell. He's gonna be sitting right up front, baby, and right next to Hitler, right, baby.
And Miriam, one more thing you mentioned that was interesting. You mentioned about the The woman just saying no. I mean, when a woman says no, it means no. Some guys can't get it through their thick skulls that, no means no, and sex without consent is not really sex at all. It is actually rape. And when the one guy who gets, here's the other thing that bothers me on that point, though. If a guy gets accused and he's no questions asked, he's cuffed, he's brought down to the station, he's probably there for 3 or 4 days if he's unlucky enough to be there.
Yeah, before they can even verify nothing, they just take her side automatically.
And you're right. Z. And here's the thing: he's rotting away for free. It's terrifying. I've never had this. Thank goodness I've never been.
I've heard in some of these custody battles with people that are in the process of getting divorced or whatever, that a lot of times the wife will hold it over the guy's head and say, "Well, I'll say that that you did this and that to me," and the guy knows the cops will just come and automatically take his side.
There's a revenge factor, and if the guy is held there for 4 terrifying days, and all he did was anger his wife somehow. That's a shame. Something has to be rectified with that, because that is unlawful imprisonment. You have a guy there for.
Oh,
yeah.
I have a question. I know lie detectors aren't like that accurate, but don't you think they might be accurate in these situations?
They have a place, but they're not admissible in court. And when
yeah, but before you arrest the guy, if he comes out clean, there's no point in keeping, I don't think they're that good. You could fake it, but you'd have to be like a master and practice at it, so that majority of abusive people could no problem do it.
Right. You can't put the onus on the lie detector because it's so. I'll tell you one thing.
If you fail the lie detector, they could use it against you in court.
Right. Yeah, and if you're able to remain calm and you have that ability to keep that heart rate at a good rate, you're able to beat.
Well, the average person doesn't know how to do that.
The average person can't, especially detectives, really know how to get you going.
To quote George Costanza, it's not a lie if you really believe it.
Okay. Ralph, I love you so much. Ralph, before you leave, UFOs, do they exist or not?
I'll tell you something. Why, if they do exist, I wish they would land in Times Square and not some hick in Arkansas.
I'm going to tell you a story.
What a coincidence! There's always some nutjob.
Hold on. There's a guy by the name of Paul Heshy, a 91-year-old former defense minister of Canada. He insists that the government is keeping a lid on evidence of USOs. This is a former defense minister. Much of the media won't touch it, he said. So you just have to keep working away and hope that they will say, Mr. President or Mr. Prime Minister, and we want the truth. This is a defense minister.
How old is this defense minister?
91 years old.
No wonder. I feel bad.
All I know is,
Ralph, thanks so much for calling.
Ralph, I love you, Ralphie. I can't wait to be on your show.
And by the way, when's a week from tomorrow? I'd love to have you down, and I'll get going. And thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon.
You're delicious, Ralph. You're delicious, and you are a handsome boy.
We got someone else waiting also.
Go ahead, take another call, baby.
Go for it, line 3.
Okay, this is the Just Enough Heshy Show. If you'd like to call in, you can reach us at 718-303-9090. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question to the nurse.
Go ahead, Miriam. Her name is Miriam.
Miriam, I just wanted to ask you, now that you, by a process of elimination, eliminated the idea that it could have been by an injection or some type of outside chemical, what about genetic? The fact that both of your children unfortunately have been diagnosed, is there anything in your background, like family history, that would bring this on?
You're asking me a personal question regarding my family?
Yes.
Okay, well.
Isn't there a rule that we have to take a Tay-Sachs test?
Yes, but Tay-Sachs does not test for autism. It happens to be in my personal life. We did blood tests from everyone in the family, from every possible thing, and it came out clean. So I guess God decided that Miriam knows how to deal with this.
So could it possibly be from the environment?
Anything could be. Anything could be possible.
Is there anything in the house, like lead poisoning or any type of chemicals in the house?
Not your house, Hesty. I mean, Miriam, we're talking somebody in general. Could happen.
Lead poisoning does not cause autism. No.
Well, we don't know that definitively.
We do know it. I mean, it looks like it. But the point is, that's a very good question. That it might be something. Remember, but you're telling me that autism doesn't start upon birth. It starts later on.
That's right.
So there must be affecting some allergic reaction that must be affecting this child.
It's also possible that when a mother is pregnant, maybe she was exposed to something.
Miriam, I have the question. You don't have to answer it. Was it the same doctor that delivered both children?
Nope.
Wow, that's a good question. That's a very good question.
Okay, so I don't want to get too personal, but I got to tell you, you're an amazing woman. You are.
She is. It's not only her. A lot of the women who go through this, and Esty, okay, you are a special girl, and I've known you for a little while already. I appreciate what you're giving the information to the people, and like you said, God only gives the heartaches to the people that can handle it. Damn, exactly. I don't agree with that. Anyways,
yeah, we'll discuss it.
We'll discuss that another time.
Is Culver related to Stump?
That was a bad question. We love your call, and we'll talk to you later on. Good night.
Thanks for calling.
Okay, take your next caller. Oh, Esty, before you take next caller, what show are we listening? I have to ask her that, Neil, because she's making me crazy.
No, John, I have no problem.
Well, how will they know they're supposed to get us on Facebook and like our page? You know,
they should be watching YouTube. You know, we have a lot of live listeners on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube listeners. Go ahead.
Watchers, but okay.
Watchers,
you never even taught me how to use the Twitter.
I got a Twitter today. I got a Twitter. I got a Twitter. I can't believe it.
While you look it up.
Twitter. I don't even have a Facebook thing.
Hey, you guys out there on 620 AM, you're listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can reach us at 718-303-9090, and you can get us on Facebook. Just go to Just Enough Heshy. We're live on YouTube, Twitter, all of it. Just Google Just Enough Heshy. We'll come up. If you'd like to advertise with us or just shoot us an email, you can reach us at justenoughheshy, HESHY, @gmail.com. Go on. Twitter.
I'm not going to Twitter it. I'm going to give a comment. Now, I have a question. All of you young people and Miriam are very good with Facebook, correct?
That's true.
Yes.
Okay. Especially Z.
By the way, I'm not tech savvy either.
He's always on.
Add that to the list of things I don't know.
Z's always on Facebook, and he's always doing some crazy comment. Even though I didn't like one of those comments last week. If you noticed, I made a little note, with your little porn picture there, whatever.
I don't remember.
It was some kind of bad picture. Anyways, there's a young boy in Memphis, a child on social media, and he gets on there and he sells.
How old is he?
12 or 13 years old.
He's old enough to have a brain.
And that was that the boy, who appeared to be very young, has thousands of followers on Twitter and Instagram. That he had a video that he was smoking marijuana, Esty. Yeah, nice that a 13-year-old boy smoking.
That's terrible.
By the way, by the way, Willie Nelson is making his own brand of marijuana. Yeah. God help me.
A bit late.
Yeah.
He's a bit late in the game.
And he said that he has highlights that he was holding a gun, and then he was also threatening that he was going to kill people. And
what does this have to do with the marijuana?
I'm just telling you that marijuana. While they see the pictures of him, that he was holding like a real gun, smoking marijuana, threatening people on.
Do you know how much he drank beforehand?
I don't know, but the point is,
check it out to see if it's true, and did they arrest him?
As of now, no. That he hit his face. He hit his face very well.
What you see on a screen, maybe he faked it.
No.
No, but he can be threatening somebody.
So anybody who puts anything illegal online deserves to be arrested because they're an idiot.
You know what? Let's check it out.
Excuse me. What about hold on? What about freedom? What about freedom of speech?
Freedom of speech. What does that have to do with posting something illegal?
There are certain things.
What's illegal? Which part was illegal?
Which part was illegal? That he was making a video.
Well, you just said that he was 12 years old and smoking marijuana.
Right. How do you know he was smoking pot?
So the age is a thing?
Maybe it just looked like he was smoking pot.
Okay. So the reason I bring that up is because there was a lady, a staff sergeant in the Army, very pretty woman, and she posed in Playboy magazine as well. Yes. So she went to a protest.
The one with the flag?
With the flag. She went to a protest where they were stamping or trying to stamp on the flag.
Right.
Now remember, she's a soldier who loves this country, who defends it, and the police were going out there and they arrested her because she felt that they have a right of freedom of speech to do whatever they want. And the Supreme Court says they can.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
We told you that when we had this a month or
Exactly.
two ago.
So that's my point
That
to you.
your nonsense and your
But
emotional
why did they arrest her?
feelings
Why did they
are
arrest
not
her?
how the law works.
There must be something.
No,
else
they
that's-
arrested her because she took the flag away. It wasn't her flag. Cake.
It was a 50
It was a
cent
flag
made
on
in
the
China.
floor,
Right.
and they were
God.
stamping on it.
Right.
And she
Okay.
stole the flag away
And
from
she
them?
got very fed up, and
Right.
she stole the flag.
So they pressed
That's
charges
So
that she
they
stole their
pressed
50 cent
charges.
freaking
Has
flag.
nothing to
Right.
do with freedom of speech.
Nothing
Right.
to do with
You know
freedom
what they
of
say?
speech.
Don't
But
yell comments in a matzo factory. There are certain things you cannot say. Come on,
Okay.
there is freedom of speech, but there are certain things you can't
right,
say.
you can't yell fire in a theater.
Okay,
you
All right,
know?
we got another caller.
We got
actually.
another caller.
And he knows what show it is. Thank you. Just take him.
Okay. I'm glad
Boy,
you.
Z is on to
Yeah.
these calls. He's
Yeah.
making me crazy.
already dropped like 3
You,
I
who
think we need
cares?
some caffeine.
Who cares? We don't want callers.
We do want caller.
I'm just glad you guys know how to run a show and how often to like say the show.
SC.
This is the Justin Up Heshy show. You don't like
All right. Go for it.
it? Great. Oh, okay. So let me do this then.
Press the button.
I should do it. This is
That's
the
the
Justin Up
podcast.
Heshy show. You can reach us at 718-303-9090. In your faces. Sorry. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle
He shut
Heshy.
up all our mics.
No.
Well, good for you. Don't interrupt me.
Come on, let the caller
Let's
speak.
protest. Let's
Wait,
protest.
He's on the air.
Hold on. Miriam said, let the caller speak. I love you, Miriam. You get 2 more points tonight from me.
Points, I
All
want
right,
to-
that's right. What's up? You're on
You,
the air.
you get a special place in Cobra Club.
Miriam.
All right.
Yes.
Miriam, you're a superstar tonight.
Thing about autism. Quick question for you. I did some research to Dr. Greenspan and the floor time method, and there was a lot of videos of it with newborn and 1 or 2 year old babies, and he was able to determine if they were autistic or not, supposedly. So before, when you were discussing it, you were saying that if the autism doesn't develop till later on, did you mean it didn't develop, or you can't diagnose it?
You can't really give a full diagnosis.
Basically, it could be apparent early, but just because it's not apparent doesn't mean it won't develop later. I think that's what she's
Right,
saying.
but the kids are, but the babies are, children are born with it, correct?
Yes, they
But it
are-
won't necessarily show
No, it
itself.
won't show because they're not developing yet. When a
Right,
baby
so
is
just
like-
they just won't look you in the eye, stuff that you won't really notice.
Exactly.
Yeah,
When
I
a
feel like-
baby's like 2 or 3 months old, you can't really understand what they're doing
Maybe
or what
it
they're not
stinks.
doing. It comes out much later. You can,
This is-
by the time a child is 9 months old, you
Yeah.
can see if a child is.
I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
parents
Yeah.
nowadays,
You know,
a lot of
things like
parents
that.
nowadays, they panic the second that the first thing goes wrong. Oh, the kid doesn't
No.
talk like 2 days after the deadline that he's supposed to
You
be
don't
talking,
hear.
or he has like a slight lisp, or he says something a little bit funny. They panic and they send him to this specialist and that specialist. Half the time, the kid is totally fine. The parents just freak out.
That's always
Doesn't
only the
necessarily
first
mean anything.
child.
Well, yeah, I guess. But I mean, there are so many,
Anyways,
so many examples.
Thank
where-
you, caller. Thank you so
No,
much.
no, thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Now I
thank
want to
you.
talk.
What do you
Before,
wanna
before we
talk?
come to the end of the show, because Esty
We're
has to
not
do some
going to.
commercials. I know, Esty, you're gonna do some commercials. Now you guys are all this show. This is already our 35th or 36th show, and you're crutching to me, pot. What are the bad things? What are the good things? I want to say what I believe. Woman, just listen to me. One thing about pot, and I want to tell you one bad thing. And if you tell me that I'm crazy after this, I give up. Are you ready?
Okay,
All right, let's go for it.
Okay, here we go.
let's go.
Madoff, one that's pot away. Bernie Madoff, the world's biggest Ponzi schemer, was also a pot smoker. That's why he robbed you. Yay! The man stole $64 billion.
He would have stolen more if he didn't smoke.
In other words, he had 20 billion. He turned it into 60, and and then he lost it.
He didn't lose it. He stole it.
No, he lost it.
And he lost it.
He lost it. He didn't steal
He
it.
didn't invest any of it.
He invested all of it.
That's not what if he would have invested all of it, he's not guilty.
No.
He didn't invest
No,
it.
he continued after he lost the money
Right.
to make believe he's still
He's
investing.
still- so people can give him more and more.
Right.
And why didn't he continue to invest?
because he lost
He
the
lost
money.
it.
And he continued to lose?
Exactly.
Right.
I heard not. I heard
He was a very wise man.
He just
wasn't-
pocketed the money.
He knew his business.
It's very simple.
And
Hello.
the pot probably only helped him stay calm,
So let me
and he
finish-
was
let me
able to
finish.
pull it off.
Really? Let me tell you what kind of a pig he was. Okay, he tried to sleep with the girlfriend of his mobbed up drug dealer. And now listen to this. And the girl was an
Mobbed
Israeli,
up.
and the
The
girl
guy was selling him pot. He was
right.
mobbed up,
So
you know?
he's in jail. He's in jail, and the pot dealer is free.
Great.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So I want you to know.
Oh my God!
pot is
Stop
not
it!
good.
Nobody
We have a
should.
great justice system.
No one should be in jail for pot.
Okay. So finally, for my final story of the night.
Here, take mine. I don't.
Okay. So my final story of the night. Are you ready, Neil?
Yeah.
Why don't you just bend it over, Tim? My final story of the night is, remember the guy? Remember that guy by the name of Martin Tankilev, Esther?
I
Martin.
don't remember.
No, who was that?
He was a Long Island guy. He was convicted of killing both his parents.
Oh, yeah,
And he served
yeah.
17 years in jail.
Yeah.
That's it?
And wait a minute, no, after 17 years, they finally found him that he was
Innocent,
wrongly
right.
convicted. 17 years. He got $3.3 million for his time. He lost his, which is not enough. Now
Not
he
for all
wants
those
to
years.
run. He wants to run for
Oh,
Congress.
that's right.
He wants to run for Congress against
Congress.
Peter King.
Yep.
And Peter says, yeah, I take on all challengers, but I haven't heard about it, and it's good for thing.
Well, did you see in today's news about the FBI?
Yes.
On a couple of hundred cases,
Mm-hmm.
and 12 of them were capital. They did
Capital offense, capital crime.
They did
Yeah.
actually did the death penalty.
That's right.
And that's why I'm against the death penalty.
You see, Ralph, that's
No,
why
God,
we're
they
against.
hear me. They
That's
hear
why
me.
we're
Come on.
against the death penalty, Ralph. Just because of that.
Right. Because I believe anything can be made up. Anything can be concocted. You have enough.
Right.
people, the
You know
right
what? But if this
people.
guy is very smart and he knows politics, come on. Let's give him a
He
chance.
just wants to run.
He wants to
Well,
reform
but you
the
never know.
criminal
He's
justice
been
system.
away
That's probably the
for
first thing on his
17
mind.
years.
Because in jail,
That's a
you know
good
what? You know
thing.
what? Wait a minute.
He actually wants to make a change.
By the way,
I want you to
by the
read
way- by the way-
Bernard Kerek's book.
Yeah. I read the
Amazing.
Facebook.
That, first of all, I know him personally, but that is an amazing book. Our justice system, how much he worked for us and how much he helped us. Read that book. You can become.
Is he corrupted now?
No, he's not.
He's not.
He is not.
Didn't he have something or other that he was in jail for? or
I
whatever?
think you should read his book before we talk. That is a person that we
Oh,
should
I'm
bring on the
asking.
show.
I'm not-
I can get him on the show if you want. He's an
I want
amazing
him on the
person.
show.
Can
What
you?
he did. Yeah.
I want him on the
He happens to
show.
be my Facebook friend. We talk a lot. But that is a person who really knows the justice system, who worked to better Rikers Island, who worked to better the lives of convicts. Listen to him. Listen to what he says.
But
You can learn a lot.
okay, but let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Somebody who went through the system was wrongfully accused. Don't you think he'll do so great as a congressman?
You
Because-
don't know.
What do you
What's our
mean?
famous words? Never say never. You maybe. How do I know? Let's give
No,
him a
why?
chance.
Because he's gone through the bad side and he actually wants to make
That's
a change. He
right.
has something to prove.
That's
the,
right.
The other guy,
Wait, that's
no.
one-
No, but the other guy, you know what he is. He's a regular guy. He just wants to run for the power. Him, you know why he's running. He wants to make a change.
It's not for his self-esteem, his ego. It's true.
Exactly.
It's possible.
No,
I
The
vote for
other
him.
way, I'll play devil's advocate, is he was in jail for so many years. I don't know.
Might be out
Does
of
he know
touch.
what's going on in the world?
Well,
Does he
he
really
can learn.
understand?
No, he can learn.
No, not on the-
But you know, when you run for politics, you don't have time to learn. You
Oh,
need
so
to
instead
know
they should just be
things.
corrupted? I'd rather have someone unlearned than
of course
corrupted.
not. That's true,
You're
but
not gonna get
we don't have
either way.
we don't have years and
The
years.
system is corrupt and it'll always be.
We don't have years and years. When someone
Okay,
runs for
don't
politics,
fool
you know, as a
yourself.
politician or for politics or things, they don't have years. They have a couple of months, maybe 6 or 7 months the most. And they have a lot to get in. Fundraising, getting the public to know things, going around to their circuit, to the constituents. They don't have time. He doesn't have time to learn the ways of the world. He's been out. 17 years ago, there were no such thing as smartphones. I don't even think there was internet. He's like clueless. I bet you he comes out, he's like, what? What is it? What is it? You know?
In prison,
What
they
is
don't
a
have
Google?
internet.
What's a Google?
What's a
God.
Google?
Ah,
Right.
guys.
They do, but it depends
People's
what
God's
you're
gift
allowed
earth.
to, you know, use and what you're not allowed to, how much computer
Just
time
know
you
that
have.
The few inmates that were released in the last few months, because their convictions were overturned, okay, came out and they were just amazed at how the world changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were there for like 20 years, 15,
Mhm.
20 years, and really amazed. In other words, wow, everyone with a cell phone today, and
And what about the computers? Yeah.
And the computers and all that. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Oh, can I just-
Unbelievable.
Now,
Wait,
And
can I
I
just
don't
read
want
a
to mix
status?
corruption. Just because somebody's been in prison doesn't mean they're not corrupt. We know, excuse me, Uncle Heshy, we know there's a lot going on in the prisons, and there is a system, there is a hierarchy, there is a class of people, and either you play or you don't
It's a
play,
whole
and
little
that's it.
Can
This
I
is
say
its own world.
not a status I wrote? Okay, imagine having all the answers to all your questions. One answer, Google. Google's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Scintillating
I have
stuff.
a question for all of you, especially you, Miriam, and Neil, and me. You have a special
I'm calling
child.
the police. She just hit me.
Miriam
Can we
has
get her locked up?
Miriam has a special child.
Yes.
Did you ever make a birthday party for the kid?
Every single year.
Do a lot of people come?
No,
That's a bad thing.
it's very bad.
So
We
does
live
he
in the
know- does he know
21st
the
century. They're both extremely high functioning. My daughter is in the middle of writing a 500-page play about.
Wow.
She made it up about the district attorney when he was a kid,
Wow.
and she wants to send it to DreamsWorks.
500 pages.
Yeah, she's very smart, but we are the
A lot of times
great
they are the
technology, and everybody's accepting, and everybody's special
So
ed
I
kids.
wanna-
And then when
Einstein
it
was
comes to
probably
reality,
So I want to tell you.
they're not
I
there.
want to tell you a good story.
Yeah.
There's hundreds that attended a girl's birthday party thanks to the mother's
yes,
Facebook appeal.
that's right. I saw
love
that.
I love
It
this
was
story.
amazing.
In a town called where's that town? Shakopee, Minnesota. Mother of Shakopee, whatever, is a town in Minnesota. The girl wanted to make a birthday party, and nobody VIP'd. She went on Facebook and says, "You know what? I want everybody to come." The town itself paid for the party.
Yep,
Everybody donated for the
it
party.
was amazing.
Hundreds of people came to this party, and they
They
had
had
a
the
great
police
time.
department come. It was
Right.
amazing. But you know what? In small little towns, everyone's accepting. Even my daughter goes to a school in Cedarhurst, and the people from the OU Yachad are really influential, and they help out a lot of things. Cedarhurst is a small little place. They are so accepting.
But the
Brooklyn,
point is,
they know each other.
the point is
Because they know each other. It's a community.
You change the life of a little
There's
girl.
no
or a little
community
boy.
around here.
When
That's right.
somebody wants to, people make fun of me all the time. Oh, you make birthday parties from your kids. Even to this day, we still make a birthday cake for my older boys. We make a birthday cake for the 14-year-old boy. And people say, oh, you make these stupid birthday parties or barbecues. It changes their life when their friends come. It changes when the neighborhood comes, especially when the community comes. I know you're Hasidic, you're black, you're Spanish, you're Irish, whatever it is, you must make a child's life happy. And when they get to be an adult, you're going to become a good adult. People have, Esty was making fun of me on my ESPY. I'm a very special person. As what was it again? What kind of a test did I take?
Whatever
Esty?
it is, but
My
you're
personality
Character
super
test.
I am supposed to be wacko, according to Esty, and I'm supposed to not be around and be serious and married.
Most people will agree you're wacko.
Not married.
Married.
Guys,
Married.
note
You're not-
to everyone. Heshy Son says I said things that I didn't say.
Yeah, but I'm not supposed to be
Are you
like.
still
You're supposed to be
married?
exactly
Hello,
as you
Linda.
are.
What does married have to do with the
Linda.
character?
You're not supposed to be a caring, or you're supposed to be dumping your women. The point is, after 25 years and birthday parties every year, and by the way, I make a big birthday barbecue for my second son on July 4th weekend, which all of you are invited at the Delaware River. You come, there'll be a big barbecue and you can eat. So I know my son is going to kill me right now.
Who's this, Moshe?
Moshe.
Yeah.
But
Moshe's a
Avram's
cutie.
going to kill me because he's going to have to help me cook and set up.
I'll help you set up. He has to cook.
You're invited, Miriam. You got it. You
For
come to,
Moshe,
you
definitely.
come to the Delaware River. I'm going to post it on Facebook this year. I don't care if we have 200 people or 500 people. I'll have food.
Do you
for
realize
there.
I think
Wow.
July 4th is a Saturday? Just by
Oh,
the way.
and Memorial Day weekend is
So,
Shavuot.
so
You
we
can't
always
win.
we always push it to that Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Whether it's before or after July 4th, his birthday is July 6th.
They push it to the
So we
Monday
do
or
it to
Thursday
the Sunday
before. Yeah.
before, the Sunday after.
Because people want their day off. If it's on Saturday, what does that help America?
Right.
Come on.
Well, according to
There's-
Esty, she doesn't know what July 4th is for.
Right.
As long as I get to eat barbecue.
Hey, whatever makes you
When
happy.
was the
got it.
Revolutionary War?
Thank God she
Good.
Why you don't remember things you told me?
Yeah, that was a miracle. I have no idea how that just happened. I think it's because she said it like 10 minutes ago. Ask me in 2 days and won't
She
remember.
didn't say
Yes, I
1770.
did.
Oh, you did
Yes,
say?
I did.
I wasn't
You were
paying
outside.
attention.
Yes.
Miriam.
No, you were outside.
I didn't go outside.
Right before the show, she
Oh.
asked me, and I said 1776.
2 hour time limit, otherwise I forget.
It's like the 5-second rule.
Yeah, 5 seconds.
All right, I actually.
Anyways, go
If we-
ahead.
if
We're
we have a
waiting. We're
few
taking.
minutes-
If you have a few minutes, but we have another caller. But you do whatever you want to do, guys.
Do we? We don't have a caller allegedly, but anyway. So
We have
there's
a whole
just
bunch of them.
there's
on the
one
line.
Stop it. Why are you mixing in?
Okay,
for?
no, we have no callers. Go
The
ahead.
producer says something,
Exactly.
you listen.
So there's a subject that I wanted to just touch on really quickly that I found very interesting. I'm not sure
Touch it, baby.
how many people know about this whole thing that's going on between America and Iran with the whole they're
Definitely.
working. Okay, so as we all know, right now we're treating Iran like they're our best friends. We're gonna make a whole deal with them. They're such great
Same way
allies. We
with
trust
Cuba.
them.
Those pigs.
Meanwhile, while this is all going on, and President Obama is talking about how they're such great allies and we can trust
You know
them,
why he's
hold
doing
on a
it.
second.
Yeah,
There's currently American warships
that's
in the
right.
Gulf
That's right.
intercepting Iranian
Mhm.
The Eisenhower,
naval vessels.
right?
Oh, exactly.
Yes.
Because they're alleging that our peace partners over there, Iran, is literally, as we're telling the world how they're peaceful and that we could do a deal with them, they're sending weapons to ISIS and arming the fighters in Yemen.
But you know
in
why
Yemen to
Obama's
fight.
doing it?
Is he literally schizophrenic?
Yes,
He
yes.
literally is talking out of his mouth, and then in the back he's doing something like, how is that possible?
But do you
How
know
is
why?
that possible that it
Okay.
could be so stupid?
Do
and
you
mixed
know
up?
why? Because
Why?
he is in extreme argument with Bibi Netanyahu. Because Bibi was the one that opened his eyes to what's going on, and he is fuming.
But why don't we have his deal on the table that they're such good friends that we could trust them?
That's not
as
true.
we're in the
Everyone
middle of
knows
making
the
a
two of them are
deal.
fighting.
We're in the middle of making a
He's
deal with
angry
them.
that Bibi was invited to come speak.
Also, he's going to threaten the whole world because
Exactly.
his
now,
ego.
because Bibi told
Fine.
us about Iran and that
Fine.
Iran is help.
So
Obama
he's a
doesn't care.
child with a
Basically,
pen.
yeah,
Exactly.
basically.
It's my
But
cookie is bigger than
I've
your
never
cookie.
seen
and I'm
anything
gonna
like
do
this
it.
in my
He's
life.
the biggest
Wow.
baby
We're
in the
literally
world.
sending-
He's killing
I
us
agree.
because
He just wants to prove his point that nobody should have a bigger
'cause he
ego than
wants
him.
to
Exactly.
show that I
Exactly.
have a bigger car than you.
Exactly. Bigger car. Exactly. But we got it.
Unbelievable.
But
Exactly.
I never seen something.
This is
Unbelievable
our
how we
president
voted for
who
this
we
guy.
voted him
I
for
never-
the second time.
All the things I've
Mhm.
criticized him for over the years, this is honestly the most insane.
stupidest,
I never.
exactly.
We're
Immature
literally
baby.
accusing them as we're telling them about
That's
how
right.
peaceful they are. That they're
Exactly.
funding terror and we're intercepting their ships.
And
We're
who do
this
you
close
think-
to having a
And
war with them.
and yet the
And then,
Russians are
what-
giving the Iranians the
Yeah, the missiles,
anti-missile
exactly, the
stuff.
anti-aircraft missiles.
And America now wants to start giving the Ukrainians
Right,
weaponry.
exactly.
We're literally
I mean,
helping
you're
all of our
really
enemies.
every-
That's right. Exactly.
All of our enemies
No
get help. Our
problem.
allies get thrown under the bus.
It
That's
is
right.
cooking
But
over
the same
there.
country, he's literally telling them on one side of the room, "Hey, we're intercepting your ships, and we might have to attack you. But you guys are good guys, and we're going to make a deal with you."
Decoupling.
I've never
They
seen such a thing in my
decouple
life.
the-
All these people are
How
screaming.
mixed up is he?
And I want to know who's paying for these people to scream.
Yeah.
Oh God! Can't you ever get into the conversation?
I'm in the
except
conversation.
Thinking about your money.
I'm telling you.
Always about your
Well,
I'm
he
money.
has to
telling
make
you-
a barbecue soon, so
Always
he needs
about
all the
your
I'm
money.
money.
telling you that you're
Come on.
screaming at my President Obama, who has not
Who
even.
you love,
Excuse me.
And he's our president.
Uh-huh.
You people
and
voted
you
him in.
love him.
You
Only for
people-
another 18 months. Thank the
I
Lord.
didn't vote for him.
The
Sorry.
You know what? We hated Clinton. We hated Bush.
No,
I
Clinton
know.
is good.
This is example A. How are you making a deal with a country that is your ally while on the other side of the world you're about to
So,
fight with them?
I'm going to have an
How is
answer
that
for you. I'm going
possible?
to have an answer for you.
Yeah.
President Obama is tired.
Schizophrenic.
Is tired of war, and no matter what he's going
So why
to
are
do,
we launching an
So we're
attack
letting,
on the
so we're letting the
Iran?
Iranian. You know what? I'm going to invite ISIS to his bedroom and let them have a whole speech. I mean, what kind of crazy thing is
I'm
this?
at least happy that he's intercepting the ships. That shows he at least gives a damn about what's happening.
Only because
But-
he's getting
but-
threatened by
Right,
Congress.
but how
No.
are you
And-
literally
and-
making a deal
and
with
let's-
people as you're about to attack
and
them
let's
for
get
He is
terror?
backstabbing
And
us.
let's get
We
real.
supported him.
That
We
ship
took
is-
care of him.
That ship is out there.
We wanna
for
give them money.
numerous reasons.
We want to give them money.
It's not just one reason.
right?
He keeps on forgetting
He
that
needs
we, the people,
military out
put
there.
him into office.
Esty, who's paying you?
Yes, so we have the Black Label electronic
Okay,
cigarettes.
okay, I know. I should let her talk. Let her talk. Let her talk. But you should just know, even the independent guy. There's one independent guy in
wha-
Congress.
yeah.
What's his name?
Oh.
The older fella.
They're all older fellas.
No,
Yeah,
no.
they're all old.
Even he
Bonner?
is going against Obama.
Wow.
Bonner, no?
Who?
But anybody,
B-O-H.
No. He's a big guy.
anybody with a functioning brain
Oh.
can just see that this is just backwards. You can't, on one hand, shake hands with people and say you guys are going to be, we trust you, are going to be peaceful,
It's called
as they're literally sending
hypocritical.
weapons to terrorists.
What do you mean?
Literally.
Z,
Literally
Z,
happening.
Let me tell
Obama
you
is
something.
busy with his
You want me-
BlackBerry and his ice cream and his
Hello,
golf.
you want me
He
to-
doesn't care about
You want
running
me
the
to
world.
weigh in?
Come on.
Let me tell you my opinion. No matter what, this is going to happen. Accept it and make it work.
What's going to happen?
It's
What's gonna happen?
We're going to have peace with Iran.
Really?
Wait.
Okay.
Iran is going to get the nuclear device that they need, not the
Right.
bomb.
And then we're going to feel
And we're
very
going to
stupid
be
in
able
10
to
years.
walk on. No. I don't believe that Iran is going to get the bomb.
Really? Who's
Okay.
stopping them?
Many people.
You know what? I'm gonna make a bet. If you win, you buy me a pie of pizza.
Well, if you
I-
lose, we're all going to be obliterated anyway, so it doesn't
No,
really
but
matter.
anyway,
Hopefully
I personally think
Mashiach's gonna come
Israel
and
is
then,
going
you
to
know.
go and attack
They,
Iran
they
Exactly.
definitely will.
before the
BB will
Russians
not
deliver
exactly
those
because BB
missiles.
is for and
Right.
he will do something, and Putin is just sitting there and whatever.
Anyways,
The point is,
so, yeah.
Either way, he's going to
backwards.
make money, Putin.
Of
Neil,
course.
Because he'll
That's the whole
rebuild
point.
Iran
Anyway,
and stuff.
exactly.
Neil,
That's
Esty,
right. With
Esty,
Crimea. What do you mean?
Esty's
Come on.
Esty's getting nervous. Take a call, Esty.
It's okay. Essie's
All right.
very uptight tonight,
No,
you know?
Okay.
Okay, fine. So this is the
I
Justin
think
Heshy
Z
show.
makes us.
All right, go. Yeah, just
Z makes
Hello, you're on the
uptight.
air with Uncle Heshy.
Hi, Esty. How are you?
Norman, our old friend, what's going on?
Listen, I won the contest because I know it's J.D. Salinger.
JB Salinger,
and
a very
Catcher
good.
in the Rye.
Yeah, catch in the right.
And you
That is, you know,
Abe
that
told
is,
me.
that
Wait,
is
listen.
required reading now
Wait
in
a
all
second.
schools.
Listen, Abe told me I won a Maserati.
really.
How big
Yes,
is it? 3
that-
inches
that-
long? You
It's
can
a
have one.
Maserati. It's about $10 of a Maserati. you know,
It's
the
a little,
fake
the
one.
little
What do you
toy
mean,
ones.
I think
$10?
it's a chocolate.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got it.
That's
What a
what you got.
producer. What a
I know. What a good
disappointment.
producer. Thank you,
Well,
Norman.
listen, if I did win anything, you could give it to Esty.
Okay.
All
right.
All right,
So,
Esty.
now, listen, I want to ask you
We're
a
running out of
question.
time. Just make it
Okay,
real quick,
listen,
all
I
right?
want to ask a question. When did all the autism start to come to light? In what year were people seeing that something strange is going on?
Well, really, it started with Kenner in the
No, but what year? Just give me a year.
in the 1960s, and he called us refrigerator moms. But by the time it came to be in the
She
1970s,
knows her stuff.
Dr. Lovas, who was the creator and inventor of ABA, Applied Behavior Analysis, and
Okay,
Dr.
sorry.
Stanley
We're just running to the
Greenspan.
end, and we have to like take other callers
Yeah.
like fast. But Norman, thank you so much for your call.
Let
Oh, till next
her
time.
finish. Go ahead.
So they were the ones that Dr. Stanley Greenspan was floor time and DIR. They were the ones that really helped parents
Okay.
face the
You
problem.
know what? There should be an answer to this situation. I mean, if Sherlock Holmes was put on the case, you'd find the reason why this thing is existing and attacking us more commonly now. And I just don't think that there's money put towards curing and finding cures for diseases. That's why we never had one person cured from AIDS. That's
100%. Money goes to a lot
Well,
of
money
stupid
goes to
places.
Thank you, Norman. I
Sending
love you.
people to
We'll
Mars
speak-
instead of curing
That's
diseases.
part of it's just part of the
Norman, we'll
nonprofit.
We'll catch you
It's
next
a
week.
profit.
We have 3 minutes left. Thanks for calling, Norman.
Take another caller, Esty.
Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Yeah, hi. My name is Yana Yushavaya.
Hi.
I'm calling with my husband, Ilya Yushavaya. You know, I haven't really heard you guys speak before, and this is my first time. He always bragged about you. I have to say that I'm amazed and pleased that our Jewish people have our station, and you're bringing out the reality of what's really going on. And I know that Hashem is always with us. And regardless of what Obama, who's a puppet like anybody else, is doing or not doing, you know, we've gone through so many years. We have so many tests, and I know 100% that
We can
Hashem
make
is.
our voices heard.
Well, thank you
so much for
much.
listening. Thank you.
And I want you
Yeah,
to
we're
know.
on every Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9, in case you want to.
By the way, according to Miriam, Hashem is a woman.
Yeah, what is the woman?
Hashem is a woman.
All right.
Everything and everyone.
I agree.
That's
I
right.
agree. Thank you so much,
for
everybody.
listening and for calling. We got one more. We got
Oh,
one
you
more.
got one more caller?
Yep.
Go ahead, take the
Let's
caller.
get him in
Neil,
quickly.
Neil, don't fall asleep on me again.
Oh, stop.
Hey, what's up? You're on the air. Just enough Heshy. NZ.
Yeah, good evening. First, I want to welcome back Z to the show.
Hey, what's up?
From his
Good to
safari.
be
How
back.
you doing, Z?
I'm alive. All my parts are intact. Everything is good.
Clock is ticking.
Glad to hear. And second of all, I want to comment on two things. First of all, talking about birthdays, how important it is to show significance to one's birthday, to one's loved one, whether it's a child
Especially
or brother
kids,
or
it's important.
sibling,
And it
especially
goes a
kids.
long way when you get gifts for
Could
people.
you
Long
let the
way.
man
And I
talk?
think if Leo would have made proper birthday parties for Uncle Heshy all along, he won't be such an Obama-loving communist.
Okay,
at this
Neil,
point.
you owe him a big
True
one.
say.
Where's the Maserati or the BMW? Let's go.
Yeah.
True say.
And he would have wouldn't have been such an Obama-loving communist at this point. He
True say.
would have shown him the true love, Neil.
I'm not a communist. I'm a pinko leftist
Yeah, yeah.
liberal.
Neil, your true love. You should have shown him the real love you have.
You are correct 100%.
All right. Okay.
Thank you so much
Thanks
for
for
your
the call.
call. You're
Thanks for
welcome.
listening,
welcome.
bro.
Anyways, everybody, thank you for listening to the show. We'll be back next week, Monday and Tuesday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. We are going to be on a shocking thing, something called Radio Zeno or Zeno Radio at
Oh, that was my guy.
Thursday at 4:15 p.m. So if you want to tune in, it's on the internet. It's Zeno Radio. So look for the Just Enough Heshy show and have a good laugh with us. So I'm going to give Neil my closing quote. Are you
What
ready,
about
Neil?
Ralph?
Wait, only Neil?
I don't repeat
Only Neil.
on-
Well,
We're
Neil,
not going on Ralph.
Neil pays attention to it. You don't really care. Okay. Anyways, this quote is about character. People aren't born good or bad. This is my own quote, Neil. People aren't.
You made it up, or
Yes,
it's about yourself? It's about your character.
People aren't born
Okay,
good
let's
or
hear it.
bad. Maybe they're born with tendencies either way, but it's the way you live your life that matters. And then a successful man or woman, okay, man, is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at him or her. Thank you for listening to the
Oh,
Uncle
could you
Heshy.
post that, please? That's a good one.
I did post it on my WhatsApp. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Heshy show. Thank you, Miriam, for coming to the show. Everybody, please come back next week. We love you. We thank you. Good night. And Neil, say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
New York.